My name is Brandon Ross. I am your host and game master for tonight's episode. Before we get any further, I'm going to just take a pause here, give you some audio, and wait till I get the thumbs up that everything's okay. Because as we all know, every stream we have is a technical challenge. But with the thumbs up given, welcome. I'm so happy you're here, and I can't wait to have a ton of fun. First up, usual announcements. If you have not done so, do us a huge favor. Head over to our link tree. Follow the links enclosed within. Give us a follow, a comment, a like, especially comment. We really want to hear from you guys. We want to know what are you enjoying from our episodes so we can make sure we keep doing that so you have fun listening and watching, whether you're catching us live or you're catching us recorded on YouTube. We want to know. Also, we want to hear from you. We want to talk to you. We want to have fun. And there's two great places you can do that. The first being the official Player Hater Gaming Discord. We can come, share memes, talk live, support each other, and have fun. But if you want a place that is really, really driven to have some great D&D fun on a text-based server in a West Marches style, I will pass it off to one Mav Hunter to tell us a little bit more about our other Discord.
Yes, it is the home of chaos. It is the home of magic, mayhem, buffoonery, and pretty much like anything you could think of. It has happened at least once or twice. Dragons kind of come through and destroy towns and villages. Others think that they're gods, only to get struck down by the almighty DMs. But anyway, besides that, you want to play a game. You have no idea where to go, where to find them, or anything. This is one option for you. We do run like certain things, small little things here and there, so you can always have fun with it. There are always people to RP with if needed. Secondly, let's see the fact that you have decided that you have outgrown the player chair. You want to make the story. You want to make your players suffer and wonder why the goblin cannot actually run his own store or anything of the sort. By all means, we'll tell you how to do it. We'll teach you the ways. We'll teach you why you give a goblin Molotov and toss them off of a ledge in order to land on the party and see how well they survive a flying bomb, in essence, because that's fun. Just multiply it by 30. They'll always keep coming back. The goblins might not, but at least the players will. In just different bodies, because some of them may not survive. But yeah, join us in a stream, have fun, and get at it.
My gold dice is not having it today. 30 rolls and no 20s. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, we also have great ways for you to spend your channel points. When we come back from our intro, you will see a familiar dice shape in the top corner of each of our players, and along with my little picture profile up there. If that number does not say 3, feel free to spend your channel points and give some guidance to our players as a boost or a boon to one of my roles. Also, we have, if you want to have fun with not infecting, that was not a good one, influencing the story, feel free to use the deck of situations action to place or pull card from that deck. It's a custom made deck that I will do my best to use the card that episode is pulled, but I do try to keep it somewhat within the story fun.
I mean, it's basically infected, let's be real.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it's infected the story.
Yeah.
Think about why.
Well, before we head into our intro, I do want to take a quick second. Recently, someone I'm aware of and we know did pass. I'm not going to go into too many details. I'm just going to say, if you're out there listening to us, please know you have friends. Please know you are loved and you are worthy. And come, say hi. We'd love to know you, share memes, and make your days better. And one way we can do that is by telling incredible stories. So let's go tell a great story, and let's get into tonight's episode of Tales of the Skytorn. In the year 208 PT, a world once grounded by tradition and mystery was forever altered. The events leading to the tearing and uprooting of the lands have faded into legend, leaving us with a mystifying era known only as post-Torn. Player Hater Gaming welcomes you to the realm of Ulthana, where our journey takes us high above the clouds, into a realm of wonder and peril. A world composed of dozens of floating islands, each a unique culture unto itself, safe from the dangers lurking below. In this world of soaring islands and untold mysteries, danger lurks in every corner. Heroes and adventurers are born out of necessity, for the unknown has a way of finding its way into even the most tranquil of places. Meet our heroes who will shape the destiny of the Skytorn realm. Dragix, the unlikely but unyielding paladin, a beacon of virtue and strength. Red, the talented sorceress, wielding the elements with unmatched prowess. Eva, the warlock, possesses supernatural prowess, fueled by a pact of unknown origin and intent. Lovikazan, the indomitable barbarian, a force of nature and raw power. And lastly, the Doctor, the masterful wizard unlocking the secrets of the arcane with every incantation. These 5 souls, each with their own path, will converge in a tale of adventure, wonder, and intrigue. Join them as they explore uncharted territories and uncover the secrets of this realm. Welcome to Tales of the Skytorn. Ready? Suddenly, cat.
Yes.
Over the last few episodes, we have tuned in and enjoyed a great story to where the party has somewhat settled a bit after a intense situation at the manor of Count Bosswood, as well as some of his court coming to be a bit more aggressive in their measures. However, it would seem that this visit was not sanctioned by the Count himself, as a few days later, a box was delivered to some members of the party containing 2 pairs of vampiric fangs, the 2 that escaped after that ambush. Alongside with that, the party has taken their time to make preparations, gather materials, get everything they need, as the cruise that has been refitting their ship with more room space, more bunks, and getting ready to take on a full crew has been in full swing. Now that I believe it's not too far before they're finished. But there are still a few things I'm sure they wish to wrap up before they leave this island. So before we do any kind of merging of days or kind of passing over a couple of days or the span of time left before the upgrade is finished, we move to the next morning. Each of you having been told that it would be best, because there will be no beds for the next few days until it's finished, you have to go find a place to stay. And a place was found. Some of you complaining that there was no rocking motion, but such is life when you live most of your life on the Cloud Ocean. Some of you probably taking solace in the fact you're not rocking anymore.
Well, I can't all of them. Besides the point.
But as the night has passed, thankfully without issue, next morning comes. I believe canonically we have established that unless otherwise influenced, Doc is typically a light sleeper and is the first to wake. So my first question is, as we come into this new day, Doc, did you indulge last night, or will you be the first to wake?
I will definitely be the first to wake.
First to wake.
Doc wouldn't want to drink out of risk of letting something slip.
Okay. wake up. Of course, you know where you are. Nothing wild happened the other night. No crazy sounds, nothing. But you know you're definitely the first to wake as you kind of look around the shared room here. You don't see anybody else stirring at this moment. So, what would you do?
Well, Doc will quietly go out downstairs
Okay.
to see if there's anyone awake, employee-wise.
You head downstairs. There is someone awake. Getting down there, you see a probably like late 20s, early 30s human female. Looks a little tired. Probably pulled the third shift last night, so she's just kind of, I wouldn't say lazily, but definitely tiredly, kind of cleaning some things, and kind of sees you come down and gives you a smile. Tries to, straighten her apron a bit and heads over to you. Do you sit at the bar or a table?
Sit at the bar.
Okay. He just walks down the counter. Morning?
Good morning.
Sleep well.
I did, thank you.
Good.
I have a question.
Sure.
Is there anywhere in town that you would recommend taking someone for a special day?
Well, the island certainly has its own hidden treats. Are you from here?
No, ma'am.
See. Well, any particular cityscape, more natural?
A bit of both. Maybe something to start in the city and with something natural.
Of course. You could head out and take a right to head north, and you will. It's probably about 45 minutes to an hour before you finally get away from most of the docks. And there's no longer docks, it's just the sheer cliff of the island. So there is a fence, but still be careful. Let's say probably 45 minutes to an hour. You'll get away from the wooden docks and more to the natural sheer of the cliff. And there is a bit of a forested area there. Nice.
All right. Thank you for the information.
Of
And
course.
Doc will give her.
Can I get you something to drink or eat?
Yes, some breakfast would be lovely.
Certainly. Any preference, or just make you not hungry?
Whatever you have on hand will do just nicely.
Of course. And anything to drink? Hot, cold?
Cold.
Of course.
I can brew my own hot drink.
Got it. Would you like something hair of the dog style, or something a bit calm?
I'll take something calmer, though I'm sure my companions will take more of a hair of a dog style.
Got it. I think I saw some of your companions last night. They seem lively.
That's putting it mildly.
One moment, please. And she heads back. Probably not even 15 minutes later, she comes back out. Very simple plate, eggs, some fried meats, fresh bread, and just a simple mug of water.
Thank you, and Doc will give her a gold.
Oh, this is I'm gonna split this down for you.
No, thank you for the information you gave me earlier.
Right, and you see she tucks it away, not in a pocket, but
Yeah.
hides it.
It's a sort of pocket.
Sort of a pocket.
Listen,
Yeah.
it's the secret pocket.
Yes.
Should I go ahead and start getting things ready for your companions, or are you the early riser?
I'm an early riser, but Doc will look down at his watch and look at the time. And I imagine they'll probably be up shortly, though. So maybe
Got it.
start simmering something.
Can do. If you need something, just bang on the counter.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Of course. And she leaves, and you watch as she kind of like walks behind the bar. There's a moment you start hearing like this weird sound of like wood against wood. You're not sure what that is, and then you kind of look forward through some of the shelves, and between two bottles, you see this little plank of wood just move out, and she looks through it and waves, and then you watch her turn around and go presumably to go cook.
Okay. Doc waves back and enjoys his breakfast, waiting for everyone else to wake up.
Eva does not need to sleep, but you are also in your own room with Red, I believe.
I wasn't here last week, so I kind of don't know what's going on.
I believe it is
We have 3 rooms.
3 rooms. I was trying to remember how it was split. I know it was. Here, write this down to make more sense. I know it was obviously Zahn and Doc, Red, Eva, Cass, which leaves Drakix basically by himself. That sounds about right. Yeah. So
I did borrow
Eva-
Eva the previous day though
Yeah.
to do infusing with the portals.
Yep. Eva, and not having to sleep, but you do hear footsteps heading down the hallway and downstairs.
Mhm.
And I would say at this point, familiar footfalls. You know what it sounds like when Doc walks.
Dan, thank you for all the gift subs, anonymous gifter.
Oh,
Jeez.
Yeah.
snaps! Yeah, I just seen that. What the
Oh my
hell?
goodness. Aw,
Thank you
shit.
very much. We really appreciate it. That's amazing.
I'm telling Ace he has to get up and watch now.
Well, damn.
I would
You
probably
did not have to do that, but thank you.
I would probably wait till Red gets up just because we're not on the ship, so she doesn't like freak out and think I up and disappeared randomly for no reason.
Okay.
You know, being kidnapped or sleepwalking or you know,
You know,
random
Sire giving
things.
us vampire teeth the previous day. She's a little on edge. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't here for that, so that's cool to know. Thank you. Appreciate
Mhm.
that. That's a
Yep.
little creepy.
Super
Yep.
creepy.
Red, eventually you do wake up.
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably, honestly, probably not much later than Doc, just given your nature.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's
I would
kind
say
of
you
on edge
probably
at the moment.
sleep more comfortably on the ship versus on land, because on the ship, I
Mhm.
imagine she probably feels a bit safer.
Yep, absolutely.
I guess the question is, do you choose to stay awake?
She probably wakes up, sees Eva, and just kind of curls an arm around her and buries them both under the covers again, groaning.
Okay.
Just, I don't want to get up.
Meg, you have a challenge in chat there.
Yeah. Yeah, bud. Uh-huh. Sure. Sure. Thanks, bud. So do you. Cheers.
Cat agrees.
Hello?
Cat agrees with you.
Yes. Yes, he does. Baby boy. Alrighty.
I'm assuming Eva will eventually tell her she needs to get up. Because she's just gonna cuddle for a while.
Okay.
She's
Want
koala.
that?
Mhm.
Zahn, as your consciousness finds you, you kind of reach over next to you in the bed, and all you feel is just a little bit of like depreciated warmth as you realize you're alone in the bed.
Which is normal for her. Like,
Yeah.
she understands that he gets up early and she's very much the late sleeper, so she's not worried at all. Which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, that she's not worried. Probably good. Either way, she probably falls back asleep for like 10 minutes, chills out, and then will eventually get dressed and come downstairs.
Drakix, you sleep like shit.
That's to be expected.
Because you're not on a ship, so you wake up rested, long rest. Long rest button can be clicked, but you're
Yeah. He gets up, and if anybody were to like put their ear to the wall to his room, all they are hear is just crack as like his spine like realigns itself after he stretches out,
Yep.
and then the same thing with his tail, so it's even longer. It's like
You get that big, full, good stretch in, and you take a big breath. Just food and deliciousness
Mhm.
begins to hit you,
yeah, he's already like
and the rest of you.
it's more like the old cartoon where like they smell the food and he just like floats in
Starts
air
floating.
following it. That's pretty much him currently.
All right. Zahn, you hear a door to your right. If you know it's Drakix's door, you hear the as he heads down.
Yeah, I assume they both come out at the same time. Just look at each other half awake.
Drax gives the downward nod, and then immediately his nose comes right back up, following the smell as he goes.
With the sound of doors opening and closing, Red, unfortunately, despite your best efforts, you cannot maintain your grasp on the joy that is sleep. And a new emotion takes over. Hunger.
I'm trying to decide if I want to keep this PG or not, but I think I will.
You decide? Holy shit.
I know, right?
We thank you for your efforts.
Suppose we should get up. She stepped away.
You begin to hear another familiar sound, Red.
Mm-hmm.
Pat, 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 pat. As a pair of little feet make their way from an auxiliary bed across the room and crawl into your bed, seeking out her mother.
Good morning, Cass.
Morning.
Perhaps we should go get some breakfast then.
Yeah.
Right.
And eventually, Eva, you, and Cassandra head downstairs. And Doc, within a span of probably well-timed 20 to 35 minutes, you are joined by your companions.
By the time they get there, Doc's probably already finished his breakfast, but is sitting there with a journal, writing some notes in as he waits.
I will say there's probably about 3 other people that have also joined in, and also, Doc, at this time, you have seen somebody that has walked in and just immediately gone behind the bar and into the back, and you begin to hear the sound of pots, pans, and more intense cooking.
The relief has come in.
Basically, yeah. And the female that helped you kind of steps out, sees your group, and makes eye contact with you, Doc, and just kind of like gives like the look like, now?
Yeah. And give her a replying nod, basically, yes.
Yeah. She disappears again. Then, not even 5-10 minutes after that, y'all basically had enough time to sit down, contemplate consciousness before plates and mugs of hot, delicious, caffeinated liquid are being placed in front of you.
I do think Doc also, knowing the group as long as he does now, knows everyone's preference for breakfast and has recommended what their platter should be to the helpers.
Perfect.
Yes.
Drac thinks nothing of it as the food gets there. He just goes, food. He just starts scarfing it down.
With that,
Yeah.
the female sets the last plate down and the last mug. Well, I wish you all good morning, but I'm going to go to bed.
Enjoy your rest.
She heads off.
Yep. Hmm.
That's fair.
Drac just nods, still eating his food. His tail gives like a mini wave. That's about all he gets.
But yeah, basically at this point, all of you are very aware that many places, especially Utrecht here, that are so close to the docks, they don't stop.
Yeah.
Whether it's slow and they're just waiting for the ships to wake up or get in, or it's a sudden 2 a.m. rush because it's the Waffle House of the place. Who knows?
Yes.
Yep.
Trade doesn't stop, thus the things that surround it do not as well. Food and drink.
Yeah.
The pillars
that.
of the trade.
Basically,
Yep.
yeah.
The pillars of a good pier is food and beer. As long as it's flowing, you know the pier is good. If it's not, turn the fuck around and get the fuck out of Dodge.
But as all of you are enjoying your breakfast, gathered all together, both in character, and I'm glad everyone is feeling well and able to make it out of character, I do have a question to pose to the group. What would you all like to do?
Take a nap.
What? Just to sleep?
Does Zahn just finish her breakfast, move the plate aside, and just do like the high school curl up? Just
Pretty much. She basically sat beside Doc and leaned on him. Then food came out. She ate, and then she's now like, yeah. She's just
Food
like,
coma.
Food coma. Breakfast food coma. Yep.
nice.
So what are our plans today, you guys? I hope involves not a lot.
Well, I guess it depends what you think is a lot.
Fighting things?
That's not planned for, but we should be
Good.
prepared for that, I guess.
Right.
Listen, I don't go searching for fights. They search for me.
That has been our itinerary, I guess.
Aside from unpleasant, unexpected events, what else do we have to do today?
Oh, I'm gonna try to find a whisper.
Kind of what?
A whisper.
Uh-huh. Right.
Is
I
that
I mean, you just
assume-
ask somebody, right?
Right. I
No,
suppose
no.
we-
He looks at Cass and just like, this is gonna be fun when we find a whisper.
Right.
Just has this big goofy smile.
why?
You know, roasted lizard sounds good this morning for breakfast. I think I might add that.
He's just like, the person's name is Whisper,
Right.
so therefore I need to find a whisper.
Not a whisper, the whisper. But
No, technically a whisper because they do. It's more of a title than anything else, really.
Right.
We all call them whisper. It makes things a lot easier.
We all is a lot for this morning.
Yes, okay, I'm sorry.
Right.
We, as in those in my circle of profession, call them that because it's very rare to find them, and when you do, they always talk in whispers. So the name stuck.
Right. So,
Okay.
what are we looking for from this whisper person?
Oh, I just look for information and things that need to be moved from place to place, you know? Because
And
Okay.
child weapons, apparently, from last I heard.
no. Okay, maybe.
You
I
look
asked
over and
nicely.
Cass is holding her little butter knife suspiciously too well.
Drac gives her like a mini thumbs up. It's like, yes, the lessons are sticking. It's like, no, that's next time. But no, this time it's there was a small trade of conversation, and
Oh my god, it actually was almost a 2 on a D100. That would have been amazing if that had stuck.
Yeah.
I would have been so proud. Drac would have been so proud. She's gonna be so balanced later on in life. Not even funny. Oh god. But yeah, that was trade of information. I told them things. They told me things.
Mhm.
They're going to double check on the things I told them because they couldn't believe any of it. And I'm gonna go find them and find out if they believe me now or not. And also, I need to go double check the ship past to see if a note was left there or not.
Right.
So there's that.
Well, other than that, I have two things I'd like to do today. One, I feel like will take priority over the other. And he'll look to Zahn. We should go out for a day.
That sounds like a good plan. Yeah. We haven't done that.
It's been a while, so I feel like it's well past time.
It has definitely been way too long.
It's been a while since anybody in the crew just took a fucking breath.
Right? That's why Zon's like, no fighting today, please.
Nyx is over here like, burn the city.
Yeah. Burn the city, and I will bring the popcorn for some, marshmallows for the other.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, we do need to figure out the Valeridium, how to get it attuned to the boundaries between realms. But
I think I might be able to figure that part out. Since,
Yeah.
you know, boundary, plane walking kind of thing going on.
well,
Right.
for players' knowledge, we did try it last session between Doc and Eva. First attempt failed. Don't know why.
Can try again.
Yeah, you can try again, obviously.
Let me know if you need my help too. You know, sparks and
We have plenty
divinity.
of people with arcane methods here. One of our methods going to work eventually, right?
Exactly.
If not
It's
ours,
totally gonna
somebody
be me.
else's will.
Mhm.
Totally me. I'm gonna get it.
Hey, we all could just like do a seance later, you know, get together, have a party, and just
Yeah.
all do it.
Exactly.
You say that out loud.
Oh no.
To them, yes.
Okay. Red,
Yeah?
make an Arcana check.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right, here we go.
You got this. You got this.
I know, because I have sorcery points. Yeah, one of which I will be using right now.
I fucking love it so much. You got this. Oh, I'm aware. I have sorcery points.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. All right, one more.
One more. She's gambling.
Okay, all
She's
right, cool.
addicted.
Yep. All right, go. All right. Dirty 20.
As you hear this, Red, you just feel this kind of quick hit of remembrance and knowledge. You have 4 potentially incredible pieces of arcane power that could be used and consumed to assist in this. Recently gifted to you. Well, not to you, but to you,
Right.
to Eva via you.
Yes. Right. You know, we could probably use what we got in the box to assist with that.
But, huh?
So
Drax just raises an eyebrow. He doesn't know shit about it.
there's a gift, more or less. From your sire.
No, I got that part. I don't understand how teeth figure into this.
They're
Well-
incredibly powerful. This-
vampire teeth are very rare and are very sought after magical opponents.
Right.
That's not disturbing at all. Good to know. Would have liked to know that a long time ago.
Mhm.
Thought we went over this, but there's a lot we went over, so who knows?
Well,
Right.
we tried looking into things and failed miserably a few times, remember?
Once that we failed, as I say, we just didn't find what we were looking for.
We gotta
Okay,
hydrate, y'all.
so... Oh, I'm hydrating.
But
I've
we-
been...
Yeah.
We've gotten so many
I've been keeping
hydrates, and
up
I
with
feel
it.
like he's just trying to get me drunk. So
Well, that's dehydrating though, so really you don't have to do it.
that is true.
But
I
that
probably
does mean you
should
have
get
to
a
go find a
hydrate.
different drink.
A different drink.
Mhm.
Your cat's trying to taste it too. I think.
He is. They're trying to get at the leftover pizza.
Did you put catnip on it? Is that the reason why?
Yeah.
I did this like
They
No,
don't
we're
eat
in
human
parade
food.
now.
They just think they
Yes.
want the food. That's what it is.
Yep.
Even if they know they won't eat it, they'll still try to get it.
Don't bite my headphones.
They're just testing you.
Right.
They're at that age.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
So we could always use that to power what we need.
So, vampire teeth plus some arcane magic to attune with Validium.
Right.
Not, I wasn't. No, that is the strangest thing I've heard in a while. Never mind. I'm not against it. I don't like taking gifts from that asshole, but you know what?
technically, you didn't accept anything yourself. Red did.
Right. we could always use it.
Therefore, it's not a gift.
Also, just think of the irony of it. He gave us what we needed to bring his undoing.
Oh, it's going to be something, all right. But later, you guys need to go do things, right?
Right.
Go do things, and then when we come back later, we can, get drunk or, just have a little bonfire or something and figure it out. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. In the back of her mind, she's going, please don't be fancy. Please don't be fancy. This whole articulate process she would have to put together for it.
Right. Dinner's had, plans are made. You go your ways.
Mhm.
So we have Doc and Zon going off on a walk, and then Dracus going to find a whisper, and then Red and Eva hanging out. until
Pretty
everybody gets
much.
back.
Unless Red wants to go do something.
Wait, does
Yeah.
Drac take the child?
Do you take the child?
Oh,
I don't know.
Child.
Listen, that depends on the mother. Does the mother trust you to take the child today?
She trusts you with the child as long as you keep an eye on the child.
Hmm.
He definitely has kept an eye on the child.
Right. So then, yes.
Okay. So I need.
We just
If
don't
you
know how
choose-
much more the child's gonna learn today.
So this is just no particular orders the way I have written down. I need
Mhm.
Zon, Red, and Dracus to roll a d20.
Okay.
Ah!
Ah!
I'm rolling in person.
I got a 7.
Get the one out of the way now. All right.
I got an 18.
Well, we know who's going first.
Oh, no! Ah! It's fine.
Date night
As the cursed
in the
crew
middle of the
steps
street.
up from the table, they leave their payment. Table is cleared. Dracix, you sneak away slyly with the child. Red, Eva, the two of you just
Uh-huh.
enjoy the immediate area, either hanging out in this inn tavern or going out to the docks to just maybe get a finger on the pulse of the city.
She's getting a finger on a pulse somewhere, but ain't gonna be in the city.
Noted.
Waiting for
You
that.
head back to your rooms. You lock the door, and Baldur's Gate 3 style fade to black.
Yes.
It's not all fade to black. I've already had to do it again. Learn.
Hell.
Doc, you head outside, and you lead on northward.
Yep.
It takes a solid half an hour walking up the proverbial coast to get away from just the docks themselves before the land just turns back into land. And instead of being docks, there's now a maybe 2 to 3 foot tall fence. Nothing major, just enough and sturdy enough to be present. Another 20 to 30 minutes walking north gets you, I wouldn't say out of the immediate coastal city, but certainly to a more grassland and forested area. It does look like it is maintained. It's not wild growing, but you also don't see a lot of people here. I would say you probably pass a few groups, mostly just people relaxing, lounging, some sitting together, and either they have like little easels out and they're like looking out over the coast or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I think we were just kind of like starting with getting there. We just kind of find a place to just walk and enjoy the environment. I feel like just kind of like de-stressing mostly.
Yeah. Zon is very happy to be out of the dock area, not wandering through the major part of the city and, enjoying the air. Trying not to look over her shoulder as, in case anybody's following them.
Yeah. And as we get like to the forest, more foresty area, Doc would be looking for a sizable area that no one's really around. But I can't get specific on the area size I'm looking for if you want me to, because I'm going to be using Doc's hitting ace of the day.
Okay.
I'm going to cast hallucinatory terrain.
Okay.
To change the environment to be more like has-been.
Okay. So you head up the coast. You get into the beginning of kind of like basically like spotted woods, very light here and there. Individuals conversing. Some of them have like they look like they probably don't. I wouldn't say they live out here, but they seem to be enjoying a good night out here. You do see like a couple with like still a little passed out, kind of tucked off to the side. You kind of like navigate your path around them. Heading a little bit further north at the coast, I would say it's easy enough to find somewhere that is open but still secluded. Basically, it looks like a patch has been cleared out, and there is kind of like this overlook area that you have to yourself. So as you get out there, you kind of reach into your pocket and just grab the card, place some little arcane spark into it, and in your pocket, the card just vanishes. Around you, the scene changes. Livigazon. As you watch the current less tree and more grassland, the fence is probably 5 to 10 feet off to your left, along with the entirety of the Cloud Ocean there. The fence gives way, the trees give way to denser trees, and a familiar location not far from the riverbank from where you recently stayed with your family.
She looks around and it immediately kind of like hits her like, oh, this is home. And she's just like looking around like so fascinated, just like admiring like the little things, and she looks back at Doc with like a very loving smile on her face, just happy for the first time in a while that she's like genuinely like actually happy down to the core.
He'll come over to her and take her by the hand with a very returning a loving smile with his own. I know you've missed home a lot, and I just want you to know we can take you home anywhere we want now.
This is amazing. I've really have missed home. It's been too long. I mean, you know, it hasn't been long, but like, you know what I mean.
I do get it. And I do want to return to Hasbane. It's sooner or later, you know? It's just...
Yeah.
Whenever fate lets us do it, I guess is what it comes down to.
Fate is a fickle bitch sometimes, but I hope she lets us go home.
I would agree with that. Though, I'm not fully aware of all the customs of Hasbane, so you will need to teach me some more about it.
Probably. It's gonna be a lot of walking. I will say that.
I can deal with that.
Good.
I can keep up with you, so...
That is true. That is true.
If you cut your steps a bit, because I mean,
Yeah.
because of your class, you have like a 40-foot walking speed. So
She does kind of cut her steps when she's walking in public.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll apply 40 feet to combat.
Yeah.
Or if you tell me I'm going, I'll know what that means. You're going the full
Yeah.
40.
I think you would like it there.
I think I will too.
Though there might not be as many libraries.
I can bring my own.
Exactly. At this point, I'm sure you could get a bag and fill it with book and still not have all the books.
There's a port I can always request.
That is very true. I'm sure at some point you'll figure out how to do the teleporty weird thingy that guy did on our ship, so...
Well, apparently we need to go speak with him at some point, so maybe he's made a breakthrough on it. So who knows?
Hopefully. Is he here?
No. I
No.
don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
I
Should
know.
go find him.
Yeah, I believe Jack has mentioned something about us having to travel there.
Well, that's good.
That might be our next destination.
That would be very good for you. You'd probably learn a few things from him, if not get, some magic, weird stuff.
If I'm able to learn anything from him, maybe I can learn how to make a teleportation to an island. I mean, I don't have to cast this every day. We can just go back to your home.
That would be really good. I would really like that.
Well, we've had a lot happen in the last week.
A lot? Yeah.
And then it's led to me doing a lot of thinking about it.
Are you okay?
I am fine. Though, I am nervous.
Are you leaving us?
No. And I don't know how the custom works on your island, and as he's saying that, he's reaching into his pocket and will pull out a small box, and as he shows it to Zahn, he gets down on one knee and opens it up. We've had so many close calls. I've died, and I don't want to run the risk of dying before I can ask. Zahn, Ludwig Zahn, would you marry me?
She is very confused at this moment because she has no idea what this means, other than the Mary part.
You know the Mary part, but to you, typically the custom is that's just a little bit different.
It's very different.
I did preface that he didn't know the custom.
Yes, exactly. It's just like, wait, hold on, wait, this is this is She will. Her smile just gets wider, and she too gets down on her knees and just like grabs his hands.
You're still taller than him, though.
Yes, B. Yes. I want nothing more than to be yours. I can't see my life without you right now, and I don't think I could ever see my life without you ever anymore. So, yes. Yes.
He will have the biggest grin you probably have ever seen on his face when you say that.
And she is just going to kiss him. Straight up. Just.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
There's no
Almost
public.
Basically drops the box to kiss her.
Yeah.
Does not care.
Pretty much. But after she'll break away from the kiss and kind of like be like, oh shit, we dropped the box. Fuck. Find the box, find the ring.
Yeah.
Check.
Oh no. She's good at perception. 19.
16 for Doc.
So it's illusory terrain.
Mhm.
You don't see the box because it fell in the grass and it's covered by the magic of the terrain.
Yeah.
She's just doing the like feel around.
You do the feel around. Eventually, both of you kind of like land on it.
Oh, God.
Yep. Okay. That could have been very bad. Oh boy.
I did post a picture of the ring for everyone else to see.
She just kind of like pauses and like looks at the ring and just like looks up at him, and it's like that knowing look of I love it kind of smile.
She'll take it out of the box and slip it onto her ring finger.
She's very happy. You realize we're gonna have to go home and tell my parents, and you kind of have to ask my father and
Yes, I'm aware.
yeah.
Though I think your mom would be on my side on this.
I think so. My dad might be too, but he's, gonna act very like fatherly, and you have to prove yourself.
It's not who I'm worried about.
It's not. Really, you should be worried about my brother. He's gonna.
Yeah.
You might have to find him.
If you can handle your brother and I can handle you, I think I can handle your brother.
See, but you get to sleep beside me in bed at night and handle me that way, where you can't do that with him.
Handle me that way.
You're not wrong.
That is going into that quote channel.
Oh man.
Yep. So
that for being the first one is perfect.
Okay. So yeah, no, wow. This okay. That happened.
I had Drakex help me procure this.
I was wondering what you guys were doing. You guys were acting so weird. Like,
I also asked him to be, well, traditionally on my island and other islands, I think, it's someone of holiness or captain of a ship is the one who does the officiating for a wedding. I already asked Drakex if he wouldn't mind doing it for us.
Okay. Okay, that yeah. We're gonna have to figure that out because my parents will need to be here for that.
I just asked him if he would do it. It's not. This is an engagement at this point. There is no time limit on when the wedding can be.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure we could figure it out.
No,
I'm sure we could figure out merging the two. I'm sure it's not the first time someone from our island has married somebody not from our island.
I imagine not.
Probably not.
Maybe. He thinks for a second, thinking about his next words carefully. I don't know if telling your sister now or later. 'Cause
Right,
you
yeah.
can contact her through the stone.
She can keep secrets. I know she can keep secrets.
Depends for who.
No, she's very good at keeping
Once again,
secrets.
it depends on who's the one telling her the secret. If it's Zahn, yes. Drac,
Yeah.
hell fucking no.
No. Yeah, I feel like maybe we should, like, if we tell her, then maybe she could like input ideas of like the thought into my parents' heads and be like, oh, maybe, what would happen and like that kind of thing. I don't know.
I have a feeling your mother's already did that
Thus
after we
the
left,
plotting
being
begins.
honest.
What'd you
So
say,
have them-
B?
I said, thus the plotting begins.
Yes.
You're gonna inception your parents.
Ruh-roh.
To be fair, we didn't really tell them we were together. They just knew.
Yeah. They're very perceptive people and
Yeah.
insightful.
So I don't think they'd be surprised by it.
Probably not.
They wouldn't catch
But
them off
also-
guard at the very least.
A little bit, yeah. I feel like me turning into a druid would freak them out more than me getting married to you. Because it's just... Look, I wasn't the best with the herbs when I was a kid, so it kind of... Yeah.
Well, we have plenty of time for me to teach you.
Were you about to say I can tell?
No.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's actually not a deception.
Huh.
I can still teach you a lot about it, remember?
Yes. That is true.
We have plenty of time to go through that.
Very true. So who else knows about this?
Well, unless Drakkix has loose lips, only me and Drakkix. And now you, obviously.
Yeah. How long
Since
do we
Zahn
think
knows
it's gonna...
damn well, Dracus may be a cheat at cards, but he's not a snitch.
Yeah.
None of you know if he has said anything to anybody.
Nope.
That's why I said, that's my preference. Unless he has loose lips, only us three should know.
Yeah.
Doc wouldn't know if he told
So-
anyone.
So, Rob, we need you to make a new picture of Doc and put him in the
Mhm.
traditional has-been clothing now.
I
Yep.
I can find something.
Done. I'm already working on it. So, okay. How long do you think it's gonna take them to notice?
The second they see a ring on your finger, I'm sure they will already know.
It's
Like
true.
I said, that is the normal tradition.
It's not like
Yeah.
Red has a passive perception of 18 or anything.
What?
I wasn't eyeballing that at all. No, I didn't have that on ready.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Doc's
What's
very
this in
aware
my
of
notes?
it.
For some reason, I highlighted red passive perception 18.
Well, you also got to remember the fact that Red is currently preoccupied, so that should be lower. That should probably be like a 13 when she sees them.
It's the second she sees the ring is on Zahn's hand, the bag is out. It's cat's out of the bag.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
There's no hiding. that.
Yeah.
No.
But Don could look to Zahn. I mean, there's no reason to hide it from them, obviously.
No. But I think it would be fun to see how long it takes them to actually find out.
Well, I won't tell him if you won't.
Deal. I like this game.
All right.
Passive perception and passive insight of 18. She probably already knows, even if no one told her.
You hadn't
Who
really interacted
knows?
with Doc. You hadn't been interacting with Doc the last week since he came back, actually. So
Rude.
Doc's been off his own.
Unless there's anything else, you begin your hour-ish walk back.
Oh, I will end the hallucinatory terrain because it's a 24-hour spell, so I'll be nice and end it.
Or somebody walks past that gate, packs the fence,
Oh, yeah.
and he just drops.
Jeez.
It's like a DC 15 check to make sure you don't go off
No.
the edge or something.
Oh,
DC 19.
it's a 19.
Oh, 19 for him.
DC,
Yeah.
It's my
Doc's
DC.
just laying
What?
in bed. He starts hearing double, triple,
Killtacular.
quadruple. Yeah.
Then
get
he
those-
realizes, oh shit, it's still up.
You get those old Quake clips, you get unstoppable
Yeah.
fatality.
Alrighty then. We will move on to the shenanigans of Drakix when we come back from our short 5-minute break. We're going to take 5 minutes real quick, run some ads. This way you guys don't miss any of the story.
Hey.
Run the ads! I'm going to sit here and mute myself and smash a lot of chips. I'm starving.
Oh,
Yes. Guys, it happened!
yeah.
He
It
did the
did.
thing!
It did.
He did the thing.
He did the thing.
I had a whole thing written up, and then I'm like, nah, just I'm gone.
Just do it.
Just gone. Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
having that hallucinatory terrain in my back pocket for a while now for this. I thought about this,
Amazing.
like, what would Doc do to make it the most special moment with Zon? And that
Yeah.
was the best idea I could come up with.
That was amazing. That
Mhm.
definitely, like, she has been feeling like very, very homesick as of late. Just
And
like,
Doc has a passive insight of 17. Like, he knows.
yeah, he would have.
Whether you told him or not, he knows.
Yeah, exactly. So I may or may not be trying to recreate Doc in Hero Forge,
Yeah.
because then that I can take with Zon, and then we can pose them and then put it into AI and like image.
I can probably design Doc in Hero Forge real quick.
Do it. If you do that, send it to me, and then I can pose and like. So I've done a couple of images. That's actually how I
Yeah.
got Zon. I made Zon in Hero Forge and then took her into a program and then converted her, and so I got her.
Alright.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, this is officially going to be an event in the calendar. Doc proposes to Zon.
As it should.
Oh. Oh, what?
I said, as it should.
Yeah. Curse crew events. Yep. It is going to be with a background. God. You know the one thing that the cats like the best for toys?
Hmm.
Q-tips.
Mm.
Yeah. For
Mine has
some
never been
reason,
interested.
they go fucking nuts over them. Like, I literally have to throw them out immediately, or they just go everywhere. They've literally jumped up onto a shelf to get the Q-tip box and knocked it off, and like opened it and like threw them everywhere, emptied the whole box.
Nice.
I don't know. I don't know, B. I have no idea. You guys, it's not good. I've already had most of the bottle of wine before the first break.
It's fine.
That's it. It's gone.
Amazing.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think anyone's surprised by that, though.
Nah.
Excuse you?
Yeah, I said it.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
Well then.
Look,
Also, I
you
don't
need-
have any snacks.
I mean, I figured you'd be drinking it out of nervousness because of this event.
Well, I didn't know what was gonna happen this session.
You haven't been paying attention.
And then it happened, and I was like, well, fuck.
He's looking for he's looking for the good chips now to enjoy. He's like, I'm getting all the broken ones. I want the full one. They are.
What
Yeah.
are they?
Oh,
We don't have those up here.
they're
You're missing
They're-
out.
yeah. Oof.
Kettle corn chips? What?
Yeah.
So they're like corn chips.
But they're delicious.
Interesting. I also just realized that I did groceries and I could have gotten a snack because I do have food. It's fine. Also, thank you for the help dice.
They're definitely not endorsing this stream, but I'll tell you right now, this is just so good. I highly
Yeah.
suggest
My leftover pizza is endorsing the stream.
them. We can do a little quick snack talk real quick. What's your favorite pizza toppings, David? Yeah.
Chicken.
Chicken?
Mm-hmm.
Meg?
I'm going to be the controversial one. I love pineapple.
Okay.
I was trying to be careful and not say that because I didn't want to get yelled
I
at. But it's really pineapple
love-
chicken.
Love pineapple.
Well,
This
so
is
does
why we're
somebody else
friends.
that can't be heard right now,
Thank
but
you.
he loves it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extra cheese and pineapple with cheese stuffed crust. Hell yes, let's do it.
Miss Mintwolf?
I don't know yet.
You don't know. What?
I'm not freaking out. It's okay. We're good.
Excuse me,
Uh-huh.
I'm just reacting to everything.
Yes. That's why I'm freaking out, man. Adorable.
That is an adorable
Nice.
photo.
Very
Not gonna
cute.
lie.
Doc, what's your favorite pizza toppings?
I mean, the classic pepperoni.
Nice.
So the
With-
reason
Hmm?
the reason I have to say I don't know is because I recently discovered honey mustard and I'm like addicted to it now and I'm putting it on everything.
Yes.
See,
I
but is
agree.
that a topping for a pizza?
It's a sauce.
It's a
It's a
sauce,
sauce.
but it's not a topping.
But it could be a
So what's your
dipping.
favorite topping? A sauce.
You could replace the marinara sauce with that. Yes.
But it could also be
Yeah.
like a dipping thing that you just add on to it, right?
That could also be. Yeah. There's
Mhm.
also gonna be good dip.
I'm a fan of the corner pizzas. Then also, I love just simple pepperoni and bacon.
So normally what I go for is like the garden pizza that Ducky makes fun of me for. He calls it rabbit pizza because it's the spinach and Alfredo sauce and onions and tomatoes.
Mhm.
Yes.
He calls it my rabbit pizza.
Rabbit pizza.
He's like, it's
I like-
basically salad just on bread.
It's true.
Drakix,
Yes.
you head out the door, child in tow.
Yep.
What are you up to?
First things first is we're going to go up to the ship, see if there's a note on the mast.
There's not.
Okay. He's just going to immediately leave,
All
kind of
there
like
is the sound of workers below.
yeah. They're not gonna go downstairs. He's gonna go look at Cass like, let's go see if we can find Whisper. And he's going to go roughly the same area that they were in yesterday where they found them.
Mhm. They are not visible currently. You don't see them.
Yeah. He's nonchalant about it. He's just like walking with her the entire time, like pointing out like what things are as he still looks. He's not trying to bring any attention to Whisper if he did see them. So when he doesn't see them, he just continues walking on. He's going to circle around a little bit and kind of go back and see if he could also see the painter, if they're still around. Just kind of curious to see if there's a change in him as
Okay.
they've been here for a while.
You head back to the docks area because that's where you saw him last. You kind of just walk maybe 20, 30 minutes one way, 20, 30 minutes back, and then another 20, 30 minutes the other way.
Mhm.
You make a perception check for me.
That's a 12.
12 with a 12, you're not sure if you see him, but you see someone who looks pretty familiar to that, just being like a basic dock worker, hauling crates to and from.
Mhm. He's just gonna smile.
But it's at I'm 80% sure, but I'm not
Oh.
super sure.
All he does is just smile and just kind of like points over. It's like, look, you see, and to Cass, it's like loud enough for Hunter. I was like, look, everybody's doing some work. This is so you know how prosperous the pier is. Not trying to draw attention, but enough to like realize if they didn't see him, like hear his voice, you know. But he kind of slows down his pace as they walk through, like once again teaching her like what's to look out for in the pier as they walk through, and just see if what happens.
Okay.
And after a little while, just
After walking for a bit, a humanoid male, a little bit of rotund stomach, kind of gets in your path.
mm-hmm.
He just looks at you for a moment.
And Drac just mm-hmm.
Yep, give me a second. Checking something.
Yep.
He's got kind of like balding head, kind of has like the horseshoe that connects into the beard. He's just like looking at you for a moment.
Do I recognize this man?
Make a history check.
That's a 6.
6. He looks familiar. He's looking at you.
Can I help you?
Drakix.
Can I help you? Neither confirming nor denying my name. He's just.
Is that you?
Depends on what you're looking for.
Looking for my captain.
Yes. What can I do for you?
He like reaches his hand forward and puts his right hand forward to shake a hand.
He takes it, shakes it back.
Grev, I'm your cook.
Ah, yes, Griff, what's going on?
Oh, I was glad I ran into you. Was just looking over some before I even started buying anything. Do I need to buy any supplies, spices, pots, pans, yada yada yada?
We have pots, pans, utensils. There was some spices. If there's any spices that you like to use, we haven't bought any spices in general from the sound, just like basic necessities.
All right.
So if there is anything that you want to use that's a bit more of your specialty, you could always get that. Like I said, we only got the basics meanwhile we were here.
Okay, I'll pick a few things up.
Okay, perfect. And the same thing goes for anybody else. Like if you do see the rest of them, and if they question like if they should get anything, if there's specialties that they like to use, let them know to bring it along, as we would only have the most basic of items that we bought.
All right, and getting pretty close, huh? Like 4 more days.
Yeah, just about.
All right. Well, hey, see you then.
Definitely. I'll see you around.
And just smiles, and you see, he just heads off.
And his tail has also been kind of like gently wrapped around Cass the entire time as precaution, like immediately ready to wrap around her waist and pull her out in case of anything. As
Okay.
it's just like, why you stop him in the middle of the road? But yeah. So with that, he's gonna check his pockets as a habit of being stopped. See if there's anything on him because he doesn't have the bag of holding currently. That's with Doc.
Yep.
But you're gonna continue walking along with her, just to see what else we could find.
Anything particular you're looking for, or are you looking for a shady contact?
Well, we're shady contact always.
Okay.
But also kind of curious to see if they bump into the painter and see if he's still the same or if he's regaining his ability. Because it's already been like almost a full 10 day. Oh, no, it's been a little more than that.
A little more than that.
Yeah, so he's just curious to see if there's if it's a permanent change or if it's a temporary one.
Gotcha. Walking around, you do see someone. They're not like shady, hiding in an alleyway, things like that.
Mhm.
You notice on their left bicep they have this kind of dark blue bandana tied around it, and a
Mhm.
visible, faded, but at one time probably made from some very nice silver thread of basically like an open eye with a
Mhm.
single scar running down it, and you know this is for the Blind Eye Guild. The Blind Eye Guild is one of the larger inner island guilds that they're very strict. They only do information. They don't smuggle. They don't do any gambling or racketeering. They are all information.
Yep.
But they've just got like a very simple like barrel up over there, and they're just walking past you.
He's going to. I feel like there's a way for them to know the fact that he's looking for information.
You can just mutter some quick thieves' cant to him, and
Yeah, he's definitely gonna mutter something
he kind of
about
like pauses for a
something
minute.
about sight and a bunch of other shit,
Yeah,
so that way
he
they
takes
realize
a
like,
little pause, looks to you, nods. Yeah, yeah, I think I saw something like that just down the corner. You should probably check it out in about 5-10 minutes.
okay. He's going to
Basically,
not-
like openly go for like, man, I'm busy right now. I'll catch you in 5.
yeah. No, he knows. He just oh, perfect then. I'll definitely stop by there within 5. It's like no rush, just he'll be there. And eventually like he'll get over there after like a minute or two after the 5, just in case like he gets a little bit busy. He kind of does out of the corner of his eye.
Make a perception check.
That is a 16.
Okay. As he check something real quick. Okay. You watch as he takes the barrel and heads to just like down the docks of one of the ships. He sets it down, and then he kind of cross paths with like a shoulder check to somebody, but you are able to just barely glean. It wasn't a shoulder check, it was a pass. So he like the guy threw the shoulder into him, but you watch as the other guy kind of rolled back with it, and the tussle of two codes
Mhm.
in their arms, and there's like even like an altercation appearance
Yeah.
Eventually, the individual that did the checking shoves the informant kind of back, and they both scream at each other, and they just head off.
Okay.
And he basically like tightens his tunic, rubs his nose, walks over to see you. Hi.
Hey. And he kind of just like looks at him for a minute and just go and thieves can't bullshit nonsense about weather and all that, but mainly asking about information for anybody who needs things smuggled in the island, as well as any news for. We're going to go with. Let me go pull up names. Wengata, as well as. Carajo, ¿dónde está la otra? Ah, crap. The one that Zigmel's from, that I can't think of the word right now.
Volantos.
Zelantos, yeah. I mean, Volantos.
Yep. He kind of looks at you a little strange. Is everybody going to Volantos today?
What do you mean?
I just had another fellow ask about the same thing almost.
I was sent a invitation, but I don't like going places that I don't know what's going on. Who's the? I know that information is a little bit of a liberty, but.
And he kind of like turns his back to you and checks around left and right and kind of cups his hand backwards like this. Like basically, you're gonna have to pay for this.
Yeah, he knows that. He in all honesty, he probably took like from the bag like about 300 gold just for this, because he knows like he got out of Pain Whisper for free because curiosity was it's the actual currency, but like he knows with anybody else it's gonna have to be gold. So
yeah,
he gives them 5 gold, and it's like you got more depending on the information you give me.
He doesn't even look at it. He just feels it with his hand and pockets it. Looks back and kind of like moves with you, moves you, and of course Cass.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the alleyway a bit. Yeah, some blue skin fellow, white hair, kind of long.
Okay. Already knowing who he's talking about.
You immediately know who he's talking about.
Galen. Yep. Okay. Okay, I understand. What's going on with Valentos?
There's he didn't take the job right away, so it's still Thrab squiggly. It's just transporting a crate from here to there, and when I say crate, I don't mean crate. It's probably a big, a large, sealed, and not to be opened. You get a pretty good cut delivered. Just we've been given a few warnings. Don't open it. Don't ask, don't tell kind of job.
Mm-hmm. He accepted the job?
No,
you know?
Talk to his crew.
Got it. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Anything else from that island in particular?
Nothing I can think of. No, not going that way.
Okay. I'm just wondering if any news came out of it as well, because the invitation was a little bit. Not much came with it, so like I said, rather know more than nothing.
No, of course, no one's knowing, but I haven't heard anything wild coming out of that place. I mean, it's a lot of wizardry, very smart, fancy pants people, but nothing really coming out. Going in, yes, like one of these crates.
Okay. Got it. Any information on Magata? I hear random stories from there, so.
But there's been talk about one individual began to push for political power outside of his guardship. Gosh, what was his name? Don't recall. Sorry, but right now he's a captain, but he's making political plays to oversee one of the regions as a appointed noble captain. Something like that. It's some kind of stipulation in the laws. I'm not really sure what it was.
That's very interesting.
It's the biggest thing over there. Since the old rooms, anyways. Gosh, what a story.
What do you mean?
Oh,
It's been a while since I've been there. I'm sorry.
well, this is a good one. This is old information, so I'll happily hand it to you for free. Apparently, there was a bit of a agricultural arson and terrorism happening. You know, one of the families that oversee the ranches and farmlands was trying to oust the other twos, and then this group came along and just took them out. It's great.
Okay. Any information on those people, or?
Well, the head of the family is executed.
Mhm.
The family itself to the winds.
Okay. Any information on anybody else? This way I know who to look out for in case.
Well, there was two families that took over.
Mhm.
Columns and Moss something. They seem to be running most of the larger lands down there now, but currently they're untouched by the other information. So, I mean, it's a whole different region. I'm not sure how they have their split ups going. I don't go there often. Most of my
Of course, understandable.
information's here.
And you mentioned terrorists.
It was the Urums. He was apparently digging tunnels underneath and then leading creatures through them. Wild.
Wow, that is very odd and scary.
Apparently, it was efficient until he got caught.
Got it. Understand. Okay. I appreciate that information.
Of course. Am I holding that one job? Are you taking it, or am I holding it for somebody else?
I'll be taking it. I may send a proxy.
Of course. Challenge and pass.
He looks and just goes, the challenge will be by the warrior's might,
Right.
and the password by the scholar's heart.
Got it. Pick up?
When he gets there, because it's
Where?
not due for around here. You'll probably recognize him if you're here.
All right. When?
2 days.
2 days. Got it. Well, if you don't mind me,
I know you have a lot to do. I appreciate it.
He just goes,
so much.
I'm hungry.
Yep. Once again, he has a lot to do. He gotta feed. He gotta feed himself. He ain't worried about it. So with that, he's going to take Cass, kind of like put her on his shoulder, and start walking. And Cass would end up hearing, if you see Galen, point just scream out "Uncle"
She looks up
and
goes,
wave
okay.
hysterically. It'll draw his attention, and then from there, he could just pass along the information. 2 days, get the package, and keep it with him. Put it on the ship, whichever one he feels is more secure.
Okay.
So yeah, now we're on a hunt for a painter and a Galen.
Okay. Unfortunately, throughout the rest of your day, for the time you allot to this, you do not find
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's gonna eventually put a note on the. If he doesn't find him within the next half hour or so, he goes back to the ship, puts a note on the navigation table, because that's always out, and just says, "Come find me," with the name of the inn that we're staying at, and it just says Drac, and that's it.
I was about to roll a d20 for Cassandra's perception, and I was like, you know what? She's 10. She has no perception.
Honestly, I feel like we should just roll it for the hell of it, see if she ever spots him, just because. And she just yells out "Uncle," and he just stops and looks like, "Wait, what?"
Nah, that's an 8.
Gotcha.
It would have been hilarious if she got it. Not gonna
Well,
lie.
Round about lunchtime for the day, probably late lunch, the party reconvenes
Mhm.
at the inn.
So, how'd it
Yep.
go?
You know, I found out that money is trying to become noble and political.
Isn't that usually?
And he kind of like looks at her, and
Yeah.
he also slowly tilts his head. Yeah, money
Oh,
is
that money.
decided to go political.
I'm gonna have his head one day.
Oh, we will definitely be cutting up that bag. Don't worry. Especially with the fact that the Moss and Collins have taken over. So there is that.
Was there anyone left of the Collins? I thought the Collins were the ones that got framed. I thought they all went. Or am I mistaken?
They all did.
Wait,
Just the
head.
head of the family.
Oh, okay. I was mistaken then. My apologies.
No,
No,
you're
you're
good.
good.
I'm not that cruel.
Listen, there's 5 of us. There was 5 of them. It would have fit perfectly.
Oh, oh, don't give him that idea.
Noted.
No!
Write that down real quick.
No!
I know, B. He's not that cruel.
You already
Yeah, he's
traumatized
not.
me on Friday night.
You're fine.
So yeah, he's definitely going to pass all the information that he has, except for the smuggling portion.
Okay.
Because less than anybody knows about that, the better. So yeah, that's what he lets everybody know about what he found. And then he just looks over at the rest of them and be like, okay, so how about you all?
Is everybody there, or did we like?
Everybody's back. Yes.
Mhm.
You shush, Nix.
No, I will not be silenced.
We had a lovely walk and just existed,
Uh-huh.
not fighting.
You're wearing the ring at the moment, yes?
Yeah, but she's not flaunting it. She's not like, ooh,
You
look
don't
at
have
my
to
hand."
be. You don't have to be. Red automatically picks up on that shit.
Does she?
Yes,
Make a
she
perception check.
She has a
Question
passive
that
of
I have.
18.
You're right. So here's a question I have: Are you
Huh?
trying to conceal the ring, or are you nonchalant about it?
I think she's not trying to actively conceal, but she's not like, bringing her hands up and like
She's not doing
saying
the
that.
oh
Yeah,
well,
she's like,
Yeah,
you
not
she's
like that, but
know,
she's like
there's
casual and like
Now, give me a
how
second.
she would normally sit, which is like very
Uh-huh.
meh.
Uh-huh.
Very
Not
Uh-huh.
trying to conceal it, but also not trying to show it off. Mm-hmm. Red notices.
So we are going to make a little ruling here.
we're having a dice off.
Well, your sleight of hand is +2. Vixen.
Yeah.
So even if I try my best to take like a passive sleight of hand versus her passive perception, anyone with a passive perception of 12 or higher over time, not immediately, but
Yes.
over time, probably let's say within 30 minutes, which would be the length of the lunch, you would probably notice. Your choice to voice or not is, of course, up to you. But I would not
Try.
say it's an immediate thing because you're not at like 20 plus passive like some people I have in my Friday game. Hi, you know who you are.
I will call you out.
But with
Drac,
an 18 and then
Drac is gonna say
respective-
nothing about it.
Let's see here, Drac's 18, Red's 18, Doc doesn't matter. Eva's at 15. It would, let's say, probably about 5-10 minutes into lunch. Dracix and Red, you notice.
Jack is nonchalant. He's just enjoying his food. That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah, Red's not saying anything.
Okay.
I feel like Red's not saying anything, but she's also like glaring. Like,
Oh no, she's got this smug little smirk on her face. Just making
It's not-
eyeballs at Zahn.
It's not going to be trouble now. It's going to be trouble later.
Yes.
Does Zahn understand what she's trying to imply with her passive insight of 11?
Of 11?
11.
That's going to be a
Yeah.
hard reach for me. Sorry.
That's gonna be.
Yeah, it is. Zahn is very confused at why she's looking at her like this. Like, are you okay? Like, do you need help? It's fine. It's fine. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So wait, Eva doesn't notice.
Nope.
I'd say around the end of the lunch period, as you guys have finished your food and plates are cleaned, all of you are aware.
And Zahn has no idea that all of you are aware.
I
Which is like,
imagine-
oh yeah, nobody understands this. Amazing. We're doing
I'm
so
getting away
good
with
at this.
So great.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Going
keep
so
it hidden
well.
for
I imagine-
so long.
I imagine Doc's very much aware at this point that they're aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Right. Well, Zahn's just enjoying the food because it's food.
Okay.
Yep. So, what are we gonna do about price then? Are we just gonna leave him be for now, or?
I'm pretty sure he's a problem for later.
Well, we
Well-
killed him once, so we gotta find a more permanent way of killing him next time.
I think fire will work.
Turning him to ashes didn't work last time. Oh, cutting him up
Mm.
didn't work last time, I should say.
Right.
we
cut them
definitely
up
didn't
and
try
fire.
that. So, but that's always an option. We'll just need a little bit more force, you know. And not
You know-
Drac already thinking of like what gangs he could actually start to get their leadership to follow his example.
Have we considered that he might also be undead? In one way
No.
or another.
No.
At this point, it wouldn't
It's
surprise
very
me.
hard for people to come back to life through non-magical
already-
means, which
we are-
means he was
Well-
either resurrected or
He did cut a
he has a
deal.
way to come back on his own.
We
Remember,
already
he
know
did cut
one
a deal
person
with.
on the island who
Yep.
did.
Yeah, he did, but he did cut a deal with the Everhunker. Why he has his abilities with the Black Blades.
Fuck.
I mean, even just beyond being a vampire, he could be some form of undead now. He's literally come back from the dead.
Mhm.
Mm.
So
whenever I kept seeing my dead friend around town, gave me the warning, gave me the paper, you know.
just a thought. Maybe it's not the safest for the non-magical type.
Mm.
Red,
Yeah.
get that feeling you're being watched.
Shit. Can she casually look around trying to see what's going on?
Make a perception check.
Cool, 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 cool,
Cool,
cool, cool.
cool. That's getting re-rolled. All right.
Nyx, you need new dice.
You
I
do.
do, because
Change your dice right now.
Okay,
You've
I'm gonna
got
change.
one better. Come
I
on.
know. Okay.
We just need to get you a good set of physical dice, and that's all you're ever going to use, because digital apparently doesn't like you.
I
Not
know,
your
right?
friend, bruh.
Okay. We're gonna. Oh God. Okay. Do I re-roll this?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, hey. Yeah, cool. Not 20 for a 28.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. All right.
As you look over your shoulder a bit, you can see in the large bay window, standing there with a hood dropped back, standing upright in a familiar ashen cloak and a scarred face. You are immediately taken back to a memory of being much younger in a house set ablaze. As 6 cloaked individuals murdered the man who was your grandfather and tried to take you.
Uh-huh. Is this one of those people?
This is one of those people.
Immediately to Zahn with subtle
Message.
cast. Yes, subtle
Yep.
casting message. I'm in danger. That person outside the window came for me when I was younger. Tell everybody I've got Eva.
Okay.
And then she will give the exact same message to Eva.
Guys, there's somebody outside that has done bad things to in the past. We should be on our guard and prepared for a fight. Zahn has
Drac is just going to drink and act as if nothing happened, and just going to be his usual self.
Red, do you ever break eye contact with this person?
Oh, not at all.
Okay. As you are casting these spells and sending these messages, he just smiles, and these horrible, rotten black teeth and one gold tooth glistens. He just waves. He's gone.
Like vanished, like poof?
There was no poof, no cloud of smoke, no elaborate display of arcane powers, simply gone.
Okay.
To Red, what does he look like? Should I turn around? Should I describe him to them? Who?
So he just vanished. Out loud. She will. Let me make sure that this spell can do this. I think she can make like small illusions with Prestige.
Minor illusion.
It's just like a small trinket or something.
You need
it
minor
says.
illusion.
Yeah, it's like a
You
non-magic
could make
trinket or
you know what I would
illusionary.
say.
You can
I
make-
would let
you can
you
make an
at
illusionary-
least make a
You
like
can
a
make an
small
illusionary.
wooden figurine.
It's
Yeah.
in presentation. It says you can make an illusionary image that can fit in your hand and last until the end of your next turn.
Okay, so
Oh,
she's
there you
gonna
go.
keep that going.
Okay. So you can
And
make a tiny, like you're holding like a Star Wars
Like a
hologram,
miniature.
just a
Mhm.
tiny.
Yes!
It's Princess Leia in her hand. Got it.
Yeah.
It's just Leia in her hand.
Yeah.
You watch
it
as the
doesn't-
10-year-old stares at you intently.
Yeah, just.
She's going to make a slowly revolving miniature in her hand so that everybody can see.
The
what this
question is,
person
Right.
does the
looks like.
child learn the spell
Mm.
as it's cast for the first time in front of her?
No, it's not.
Right?
Not
It'd be
even
hilarious.
close.
It would be hilarious if she did, though.
Right. Zahn is going to nod and look to Doc like, I'll be back. I'm just gonna check if he is on the street. I'll be fine. You'll hear a message. Zahn's gonna get up and just go out to the front of the bar.
Mhm.
Just outside, like, oh yeah, I'm just casually getting some fresh air and look for said person.
You don't see him.
Mm.
He vanished
Yeah.
somehow, but this is one of the people. I'm not sure I've even told this story to anyone, really. Perhaps Eva's the only one that knows, but
Doc knows.
They came for me when I was very young and killed my grandfather. And they were looking for me. Specifically me. For very specific reasons. And now they know where I am.
Well, we're only here for a couple more days, so we have to hold them at bay for that long, basically.
Right, we should definitely change inns though.
And I was just starting to like this one. God damn.
You
Let me
think
know
that
where
will
you
be enough
guys
to throw them
stay.
off?
I'll stay here as I have to wait for Galen to talk to him.
We should not split up.
It's only going to be for a little while. Knowing him, he's going to go back to the ship, double check a couple of things. He will find my notes and he will come. And
So
then
we
I will
should-
go to you guys.
You know, if they knew enough to find me here, they probably know about the ship.
Right.
Everyone. All of the crew is in danger the longer we stay.
We're not going to be here much longer. It's what?
Don't need long.
I know. Let's check the ships, see if they've stowed anything, especially while, things are being built that it could be put into the walls. We can check to see if there's anything not of ours there.
Right.
We'll do that. We'll change inns. We'll keep our guard up for 4 days. We can't not wait. We have to,
Unfortunately, the upgrades have to be done in their own time. We're kind of landlocked.
We'll check how long.
I think perhaps I better not go back to the ship until we plan on leaving. That way there's less chance of collateral damage there.
Yeah.
If they don't expect me to be there. Right.
Exactly. Well, why don't 3 of us go back, check the ship top to bottom. 2 of us can stay here. We'll keep Cass safe here.
Drake's just like, no, I got this.
I need to
I
be
know.
leaving here.
You all stay here. I'll be fine. If Galen comes through, let him know that. And he sends the message to them, referring to the code and the password itself, as well as to go find the Blind Eye Guild member in 2 days. That's it. He says it all to them mentally, so that way nobody else hears it. No worry about it, and just goes, "Don't worry about what it's for. Just let him know. He will know."
I will say, Red, that guild bell to you.
The guild what?
That guild rings a bell to you.
What kind of a bell?
You have a general sense of what they're about. Is that they
okay.
deal only information. They do not mess with any kind of, typically any kind of heavy smuggling, illicit goods, racketeering, gambling, drugs, alcohol, yada yada yada. They are, for the most part, they are solely information, and from time to time they will be like the in between of certain things, but they never get their hands on any actual product besides intangible information.
Perhaps this whisper of yours knows how they found out? Was the procurer of information for them?
I will find out.
Probably a good idea.
So you
But
guys
you
found a new
shouldn't go
place.
alone.
I'm never alone, and he actually holds the sending stone that she has the other one
Uh-huh.
for. He's like, I'm
Uh-huh.
never alone.
Yeah, no, nice try, buddy. Nah, that's not gonna happen this time. Stakes
Fine,
have been
Doc.
raised, bud.
That's a
Doc,
good
do you
one.
want to come with me?
Ah, okay.
Wow.
And he
Okay.
looks directly at Zahn and just goes, it's very simple. This way, we both have somebody in front to take all the hits and somebody behind us to support us. If I take you with me, I leave them without
I
somebody.
hate how you're right.
So
I really hate how you're smarter than me, but it's fine.
Listen, we have ways around it. It's fine.
Yeah, they can handle themselves. Have you seen her turn herself into literal fire?
Mhm, right.
yes, but still, I would also like it if in a short room, they could also protect you in case of anything. If I take you with
Yeah.
me and we're in the middle of a hallway, one of us
Then we
is
just
blocked
run
from doing
fast.
much.
Whatever
Oh,
it is, we need to do it quickly.
Okay.
he's
you
just gonna
two
get up and just
go.
looks at Doc and be like, "Are you gonna come with me or not?" He just starts to slowly walk out.
Doc will get up to go with him.
Okay.
Also casting Mage Armor on himself as they leave.
Okay. You head out shortly after lunchtime.
Mhm.
Well, the rest
Keep
of
an eye out to see if we see Galen at the same time as we head out to the ship.
Mhm.
Okay. Rest of the party.
Going outside for some air.
Okay.
Yes.
Also to see if she can pick up on any tracks from where the guy was standing in the window.
Okay. Make a survival check.
Oh, goody.
Can Zahn help with looking? Or
She would tell Zahn what she was doing.
look, Zahn
Knowing
had
perhaps
already
Now
Zahn
you can
might be
help.
better.
gone out, looked for him, being like, okay, this is a quick check. Let's actually look, and she
Yeah.
You
gets
can give
down
her a
on the
hand.
ground,
Okay.
sniffing the ground. Not actually sniffing, not actually.
Cool. She's gonna let Zahn handle all of that.
So I guess Zahn rolls that?
Yeah.
Since
Zahn.
Zahn is
Zahn,
Totally
make a
rolled.
smell check.
A survival check?
Smell check.
Smell check. Okay, cool.
That's
Noted.
Survival.
Yeah. With
Oh, no.
advantage.
Yes.
That dropped. I'm not. Okay. 18?
As you go to where you were told he was standing,
Yes.
then you get down on your hands and knees, and you look, and you smell. And you smell familiar, burnt, earthen scent. Something you only got for a few moments, and it wasn't even in this world.
Wait.
Somewhere in two little pairs of barely noticeable, dried, cracked, muddy footprints, there is an earthen, burnt smell. And you recall, you caught just a flinch of this in the dream realm as you were falling and you were near the nest.
Reddit. Okay, so she's gonna tell this non-verbally through her mind link. It smells like your nest, or something similar from the area from your nest. It smells like burnt earth, or like I recognize it.
Connects in any way to anything other than her nest? Any inkling of what this could possibly mean?
Unfortunately, as your mind begins to try and not have a panic or a frantic, all roads point towards they are tracking you, and they are
Great.
trying to find you.
Right, so
Huh?
they're absolutely tracking me.
Okay.
Still trying to find me.
Mm-hmm. We knew this was a possibility. You always knew this was a possibility.
I didn't.
And it's
think
here.
there would be people around me that I cared about.
Well, unfortunately, that's the reality right now.
Mm.
So, what are we going to do? I'm pretty sure Eva's not going to let you run. And if she let you run, I wouldn't let you run. So...
You know,
No, I don't know.
she's struggling trying to figure out what to say. You can tell
Eva,
that there
do you
are
wanna...
words like racing through her mind and on the tip of her tongue at the moment, and she doesn't quite know how to express it.
Listen, I've got preparations. That's about all I can do. You want to go kick some butt? We'll go kick some butt. You want to go run somewhere? We'll go run somewhere. All I can do is follow you, but you're not going alone.
Exactly.
If I was stronger, I would.
Welcome to the
Bitch.
club.
As much as I care for you. Both of you.
She accepts it. Holy shit.
Your friend?
Be quiet before I regret my words.
I love you.
She's like
Look.
rubbing her temples.
Look, I get what you're saying.
This is worst case scenario for Red.
Yeah. No, you
Look.
don't understand what I'm saying. Let me lay it out for you. Because I can't
Okay.
figure out a nice, polite, less harsh way to say this.
Understood.
They don't think that I would leave any of you behind. They don't. They expect me to stay with you.
Okay.
Your proximity to me puts you in greater danger.
Babe, we just fought a vampire
Yeah,
lord that's
like-
about 10 levels higher than we are. Don't
Yeah.
start.
What's a level?
Ooh, have you seen what we just fought off?
From
You think
Cass,
these
she's
guys are
a
going to
level.
scare us?
All right, do you know what happens if I die? Die?
Yeah, we'll fucking reincarnate you so you don't fucking die.
Will you be
You're
able
not
to do
leaving
it
us that
easily?
fucking easy.
You're below Drac again.
God.
Listen, I, more than anyone here, understand your fear. Because all I've wanted to do for the last 10 years is run and hide, because I know this asshole can find me if he wants to. You're the one who's keeping me from running from him. You're the one who has said that you're not going anywhere. So, unless you're going back on your word, stay fucking here with me.
As I
And
said,
if you try to run, I will restrain you.
I
Well,
already said
she's
I'm
a
not
phoenix.
going to. Yeah, you probably just burn yourself to death doing that.
Eh.
As I already said, though, I'm a bit too selfish to run.
Good.
But they
So?
know that.
And we know that they know.
And all it would take for me to turn myself over, they probably know too.
And we know that too. So we're going to make sure that that doesn't happen. That's the whole thing. We already know you. Right? We know what you would do to make sure that we are safe, to make sure that we don't die. You would sacrifice yourself to make sure that none of us die. I get that. All of us would do that. But we know that you would do that. And yeah, sure, they know that you would do that too, but we know. So we're going to make sure that it doesn't happen. Does that make sense?
Your logic is circular, but somehow I'm following
Exact.
it.
Thank you. Right?
Red, with
Yep.
your decently high passive perception, you feel something just to your left. And you feel the familiar sensation of a 10-year-old wrapping her arms around your waist. And she looks up and says, "Yeah, you don't get to leave."
She's making a face like she's trying to hold back her emotions and like frustrated that she can't at the moment.
The child wins. The child wins. There is no more
You're
battle.
not there to be quiet. Ugh. She reaches down with a hand and strokes Cass's hair slowly. No, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
Good. Because I'm pretty sure that Eva would kill me if we let you leave.
No. No.
Mm,
There might be some other things that happen, but not.
yeah.
You don't need all your toes.
But that
I know
doesn't-
Zahn
Yeah.
doesn't naturally dream, but I can still find a way to give her nightmares.
Wow, that's a cold line.
Damn.
Oh boy. Okay. Noted.
That does not change the fact that we are in heightened danger from what we were. I thought I was far enough ahead of them. But I'm not. And now, all of us are in jeopardy. All of us.
It's only the third time this week. Not a big deal.
I hate how accurate that is.
Yeah.
It's
Literally.
not even
this
the
week.
record either, in all honesty.
Yeah.
I think the record currently is 12 times in a week.
Look, why don't we find something that will help protect us and kind of in Red's head and Eva's eventually. She is mostly Cass. To help, protect us, Cass. Right? Because we can defend ourselves. So maybe we just find something that'll help her. I'll gladly give up my cloak if it means that she's a little bit more protected.
Eva,
Mm-hmm.
make a history check.
A history check?
Huh?
Sir,
Weird.
good lord. One of
You're asking
two
the
that I have a
wrong
goose
people.
egg in.
All right.
14.
Good. You have a spell scroll.
I'm well aware.
Okay.
I also have a few other new tricks up my sleeve.
Just want to make sure it was still there.
Oh yeah.
It's been longer than 8 hours since she put Death Ward on Cass, so she's gonna do it again.
Okay. Is there anything else this part of the crew wants to handle before I switch over to
The boys.
the D&D crew?
I mean, Reg's gonna be pacing out front of the door for a while, looking real angry. But other than that,
Alrighty.
Look, do you want to squish some watermelons? That'll help you feel better.
no, no. Lighting things on
Nope.
fire, yes. Watermelons, no.
I'm sure there's lampposts that need lighting, so you can go and do that.
We're going to take a quick 5-minute ad break, and then we'll get right back into it. So we'll see you all when we get back from this ad break.
Ah, thanks. Are we on break or not break? And of course, I just painted my nails. It's fine. I'll be back.
B does bring up a good point. I have a scroll of non-detection, which hides someone from
That's true.
divination magic. However, it is non-detection. It only lasts for 8 hours. So, whatever you do, it would have to be within those 8 hours.
But it's also a spell scroll that somebody could put in their book.
Exactly.
I've not
Yeah.
been made aware you have the scroll.
You are very much aware I have this
Am I?
scroll, sir. Yes. You were there when he gave it to me.
That's right. Players just forgot. Yeah. No, you're right.
I think the
I just don't
original
have-
intention was to
You wanted to wait on it for
engineer
something.
it to work in
To
the
get
dream
into
realm.
town to get the paper so I could inscribe it. That's what it is.
That's what it was. Yeah. And now you
There
Yeah,
you
because
go.
he didn't have enough paper yet.
You
Now
have
he
it.
does, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, we've been way too busy for Doc to remember to do that.
Yeah, it's also true.
I have my trigger finger on invisibility that I can upcast for 3 people, and I can do it with a 30-foot radius, so
Look,
I'm just waiting to
If-
drop it if I need it.
if Doc runs into this random vanishing person within the next 12 hours, I have something to try on him that can probably help this problem.
It also has greater invisibility if she needs it.
Did this person join the Discord and then immediately leave?
Possibly.
Looks like it. I don't see them.
Yep.
Oh well. No, happens a lot actually. They don't see anything in chat, so they just leave.
Need to consider more snacks.
So, speaking of snacks, when I was at con last weekend,
How'd it go?
oh my gosh, it was amazing. I loved it.
Good to hear.
We had a live stream for another thing I'm doing, and
Did I get those badges?
yeah. Oh yeah.
You're welcome.
Yes. We took advantage of the media suite because I got a media badge.
Nice.
Yeah. Actually, I was part of 2 live streams last weekend.
Nice.
Yeah. And then we went to the mall. That was like a 5-minute walk from the hotel
Mm-hmm.
and found a candy shop.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Snacks. And there were gummy Legos.
Nice. Could you actually
Would-
build with them?
Yes, you can build with them. They
Oh,
fucking work. It's
Nice.
amazing. So I got that, and then I got I must have been channeling Exodus because I got unicorn sparkle cotton candy, which is
Yeah, that screams Exodus.
yeah, it does. Yeah, that's great. And chocolate, of course.
Of course.
But yeah, those Legos were a hit around the house when I brought them back.
I bet.
I'm not surprised.
Very
Mm.
nice.
I guess the only question is, are they still there?
Yes, they are because I'm portioning them out.
Ah.
Well, I'm just sitting here thinking, what do I have available that I can make when we get done here that's not too heavy? Don't think I have anything.
Popcorn.
Real question is, what do you have, period? And then we can figure
have-
something out.
Well, I I know for a fact because I made the genius decision of making a 9-pound pork shoulder.
God damn.
I have 15 pork and cheese burritos,
Okay.
which I had one for lunch, and they are freezing very well. It's very delicious, so I'm very happy with that. No,
What?
there, now we can. Did you say can I hear you?
No, I was
Oh.
saying thank you, Kelpie. I'm good now.
Oh, I saw you moving your mouth, and I was like, we can't hear you. I don't.
I know. I literally wasn't because I literally wasn't saying anything, so stream wouldn't pick it up. But cool. Now you guys know. Thanks,
No.
Kelpie. Hi.
All right. Drackix and Doc, D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going? What are you doing?
Like I said, we're going back to the ship to double check like the secret cubby holes that we've kind of like created
On the
in the
way,
last
make,
couple. Yeah.
make sure we're not being watched or followed.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Go ahead and give me perception checks.
That dice was so
You are-
cruel.
Mine is cocked.
No one's dealing with you at all. You are both just ghosts in the wind.
The dice literally spun on a 20 for like half a second. It hit the screen and shook to a 2.
Ah, man.
Wow, we both got twos then.
Yeah.
That's rough.
It's fine.
It's probably for the better.
Yep.
Probably.
You check the ship, check your little stash holes.
I'm also checking shit with via detect magic,
Okay.
making sure there's no magic that should not be here on ship.
You don't pick up anything that doesn't belong. I'll
Yep.
put it that way.
Can I?
when-
Sorry,
Mm.
can I interject something that I feel like Doc would think of? That it doesn't necessarily have to be a magic item. So maybe check new walls and stuff that they're making.
We are checking all that stuff. It was just
Cool.
one preference. I did it all while detect magic is up.
Awesome.
Gotcha.
That way I could tell it's
So you're
something.
checking their work?
Checking every aspect, like every new addition, to make sure there isn't something that's
Okay.
being added
They
that
are
shouldn't
still
be
working.
added. Yeah, I'll be non-intrusive about it.
Okay.
I have bedside manners. I can do that.
Well, first you have to address the fact the crew's still working. So, do you let them know what you're doing, or you just start like sticking your nose in their business, basically?
No, we would let them know like, oh hey, we just wanted to check check on the work,
Mhm.
see how it is. Like not tell them the fact that we're going to like double check the cubby holes because that's just ridiculous.
I would say at this point they've managed to get up the new wall that will separate Doc and Zon's room from the rest of that part of the ship. The door is not hung, but the door is framed.
Okay.
They've gotten up the walls that separate the small cargo that is next to the steps. The steps have been ripped up and rebuilt to be in the new angle.
Okay.
And most of the walls that surround the new bunk room have been put up. The main wall that separates, or will separate, Eva, Nyx, Cassandra's room from them is not up right now. It's currently being worked on. But so you come down, you get with the individual who's leading it, and he's like, just walks you through it, all the walls that are up, and
Yeah.
he basically grabs a corner of it and shakes it, and it barely moves.
Meanwhile, this is all happening. Divine sense.
There's an expectant couple of like quarter hits because you can see there's a tiefling amongst them.
And there's me.
But-
And then
And,
there's that.
and Doc, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
So
like,
it's like-
you get pings, but you're not like, what the hell? No, you're like,
Yeah.
you get one, you're looking like, oh, tiefling. And you're like, oh yeah, Doc. Oh, God.
Nah, he just like looks at he doesn't even the moment that it pings next to him, he completely ignores it pretty much. He's like, I don't have to worry about that one.
Yeah.
I feel like Doc's also like asking legitimate carpentry questions because he's
Yeah.
probably thinking, I'm going to repair the ship probably once or twice, so I want to make sure I put it back the way they're designing it.
Yeah. I would say that conversation does lead to the individual overseeing the team lets you know, like, hey, when we're done, we'll leave you with our blueprints so you can see if we had to make any changes or things like that.
That
In
would
general,
save
looking over
so
a
much
thing,
problems.
nothing appears out of place. Nothing appears out of the ordinary. It is good work. They are not using nails. They are using wooden joints.
Nice.
Okay. So it should definitely have a lot more stability and strength to it because of that. All right. With that in mind, probably start to leave, but also would check over his note and see if there's any kind of once again, check the maps to see if there's any notes there or the map table.
There is a new note on the navigator's table. You recognize Galen's handwriting, and it's just like his quick script of basically like a ship manifest or roster. You can see where he's just written out the names of the individuals and kind of what their job will be.
Okay.
What was that?
That's exactly the reason why I turned, because I heard it. I'm like, huh?
Is your apartment haunted?
Apparently.
You
This
don't
wouldn't be
have
the
to
first
call
time.
in.
Get the salt.
I'll get it tomorrow. Listen, all right, if Billy Bob wants to bother me right now, I'm going to leave him alone. Tomorrow, if he continues to bother me, then I kick his ass.
Yes.
All right, but anyway. Now, that's in common. Is there any portion of it that could be changed to the thieves' camp to tell me why the hell he didn't come over where we were?
No. It just looks like he's been doing some work.
Okay.
Did you leave him a note?
I did say I left him a note saying to meet me at the...
I missed that part then. My apologies.
Yeah, to meet us at the inn that we were at, which is the reason why they have the information regarding the guild member to give to him in case they don't see him, which is the reason why we also kept an eye out for him on the way over in case he was heading towards us.
Got it. I missed that detail.
It's okay. It's been a long day.
It's been a day.
Yeah. So yeah, so probably my note's gone then if that's the case, if he left that there.
Yeah, your note's gone.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, so Galen knows where we currently are. The girls should be there, hopefully, for a little while more. So he should see them and they should give them the information.
I'm going to pose a question to you, Dragix, and you are free to say no.
He kind of just turns slowly and is currently confused and worried and unsure if he's about to find himself walking the plank. Okay.
I have a spell to alter memories. We find the individual we found who was watching red. Before tomorrow morning, I could wipe memory of him seeing red.
One second.
You watch as Drakix kind of looks at you, and for a moment, his pupils just get a little bigger, and his brain starts to zone out.
I feel the start of smoke coming from the ears.
Okay. Important question. The illusion that Red made, did that have the golden tooth on it that we saw? Oh, that she saw, I should say.
Please hold. This
Because I don't know how detailed she got, and therefore...
That's what I'm going to go check. An illusory image. Fit in your hand. I'm going to have to say that because of the size of it, it would just be too small to get that much detail.
Okay.
That's fair.
Damn it. I can't use locate object.
I know where you were going. I respect it. But I'm thinking, like, it's a 6 foot-ish tall humanoid creature being shrunken down to 3-4 inches.
Yeah, that's why I asked Drax. I knew you had locate. I know you had.
I had locate object.
Yeah.
We can technically locate the tooth.
Or a piece of his clothing, if you know it specified enough.
Yeah, we could. Because it says specific object known to you as long as you have seen it up close at least once. Technically, with the image, I saw it up close at least once. So,
do it quick before he lets others know.
And I have 3 spell slots. You know what? Screw it. Burn one now.
You do not get a ping.
Just trying to see if he followed us. You know.
Never know.
Nothing now. Let's start heading back, and
I should also mention I have a feral werewolf skeleton in the bag of holding right now. So, want to toss
we
that
leave
in?
Jeremy alone for now. Later on, we get him back.
We'll fix that later.
Yes. More out at sea, so this way we don't have to deal with people coming in here and burning down the ship.
For now. I didn't want to leave him on a boat, so I just crunched him down into the bag of holding.
Yes, no, that's fair. That's fair. So I'm going to tell them it's like when we get about halfway back towards the inn, I can only do it another 2 times, and we're going to burn another instance of it to see if.
Yeah, I'm sure Drac is aware of the perimeter of the spell, so I'm sure he's going to be smart about where we use it, so we're not overlapping too much.
Yeah. So it's like when we get a little bit closer, like outside of that, technically it would be 5. Let me see. Wait, is it a 1,000-foot radius or 5?
Feet.
So yeah, so 500-foot radius. The moment we start crossing that 500 feet from where I last stood, is when he starts to kind of like start counting in his head again to like another 500, and then immediately cast it again and see what he gets. This way, there is no real overlap between the full range.
I think you would want to go probably still to 800, because if you think about it, yes, you're going by radius, but you're also going to have the spell's ability to basically backtrack behind your steps. So you would want to take, 800 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Make sure we're catching the absolute edges and maybe a little bit into it kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, because there was a chance he walked 5 feet to his right, and now he's in range.
Yeah, basically.
No, that's fair. Yeah. So it'll be 800.
On your second casting, you have no pings.
Okay. Do we see a Galen at any point as well during this little travel?
I'll say, on your second casting, though, you do kind of see a familiar blue-skinned, white-haired individual with a heavy, large, like crossbody backpack. Like he's carrying everything he's ever owned. But he also just got up from the underclouds, so you're not sure what the hell is in the bag.
He's just gonna smile, wave, and go, "Oh, I've been looking for you."
Yeah, I heard. And he kind of pulls a note out and waves it. Sorry,
It's
You got
okay.
busy?
Yeah, I see. We could see that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I haven't owned anything for a couple years, so it's nice to have things.
I'm sure it's good to cash out too.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to question it, but if you need a place to stash it, you'll let me know.
Oh, speaking of letting you know, found a fair bit of news about the weather the other day.
And immediately he's going to go with, yeah, I've heard about the actual caves and everything, which he's referring to the box. And then immediately in Thieves' Cant just tells him what the passphrase is and the password to it.
And
And
basically
just
like,
says,
oh, good, you did want to take that job. Good.
of course. What do you think I am?
I
Cheap?
just want to make sure.
What did I roll to try to figure what they're talking about?
Unfortunately, there is no chance. It's considered its own language.
I know.
Technically, it would be like an intelligence check. He knows Drac a bit.
And I've deciphered codes before with Doc.
I would say you're not wrong. If it was written, I'd give you a shot.
Fair. Because we've
To see, like, if he were to roll high enough, what would it be? And if not, he's just gonna be confused because it's just like them talking about legit gambling
I would say
and good
you
dens.
definitely know that, like, the way the conversation shifted, you're like these seedy motherfuckers.
I start complaining in Nosh.
Yeah.
Both of us look at you, just like, listen, Ari, you don't need to talk about us like that. That hurts. Drac really has no idea what he said. Tell the same thing. So yeah, so he just looks over and just like, yeah, that's, and throughout the Thieves Can't just tell him the fact, like, that's the password, that's the phrase, that's the trigger phrase. So you take care of that, get that back onto the ship, or and he kind of just tells him rough estimate of where he should be staying.
We want to keep it.
He's gonna tell him to keep it on him for the next 2 days, like pick it up the next 2 day within 2 days, and to keep it on him that day, but also let him know where he's staying so he could grab it from him and just get it into the bag of holding. One less thing to worry about for the time being. Oh, he goes like, oh, it's one of those. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I don't know why they said don't put it in spaces.
Got it. Keep it hidden then. On you as best as you can. And then the ship should be ready in 4 days, and we'll hide it there. Better.
Of course.
Yeah.
All that was in Thieves' Camp, correct?
All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, he shifts back, like, well, backpack's getting kind of heavy.
Yep.
And, like, cinches down one of the straps.
Drac kind of just like helps him move it so that way it doesn't start falling off to the side. And
He's
just
not known for his physicality. He is not a...
He just gently pushes it, but also keeping him stable.
As
he
you
knows,
push it a bit, you definitely hear the telltale sign of, like, a dagger, maybe some new clothes. Like, things he's just missed because he hasn't been able to buy them.
Yeah. Honestly, he'd be surprised at the fact that if he were to hear, like, small little sounds coming from it as well, he's just going to look at him like, really? Oh, the female and male variety? Because he doesn't know which way he goes. It's like, we don't need this. There's a child on the ship.
All right. But he nods to you, looks to Doc, and then heads out. I will say, Doc, you did notice that his rapier is new.
Mhm.
Didn't recognize it on before. And he has a new, like a thigh belt of thrown daggers. And also, most of his clothes have been cleaned and repaired.
Yeah. Must have cast out very well, nicely. For look of
But
his
the amount of stuff that he actually had hidden around that I didn't want to take all of it from, yes, he did.
Might be as rich as you are.
I will actually have to disagree. He's probably richer
It's
than
like
I
a
am.
twitch.
There's a twitch, and he in his mind he hears the fact that that's probably wrong, but he will never say it outright, and especially within any possible earshot of Galen. He's just like, nope, we're not mentioning that. We're just gonna leave that alone.
Alright.
But yeah,
As you
so
continue on your walk and you try to focus on this spell, you're not getting any hits.
okay. It has been a little while since we thought of this and coming back, so it's not that much of a surprise that he would be out of range.
Mhm.
But he definitely lets Doc know like he's getting nothing. It's either because he's out of range or I don't have enough of. It has to be an actual glance at what he is to get a better idea of it.
It was a long
So-
shot, but it was worth a shot.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, I have to make sure my crew's safe, even if it means I need to find a way to put a hole in an island. Once again, that portion is in his head, not outright.
Mhm.
But yeah.
I still need to teach you and Red and the rest of the crew Nosh, so that way we can all just speak normally out loud and no one understand us.
I just like to make people look at me odd because I'm not speaking, and yet there's still facial reactions. It's a fun little surprise.
Maybe I'll get my mask back from Zon.
I don't. She'd probably give it to you, but I don't think she'd want to.
I'm sure if I asked, she would. We're really just using it for the night vision.
Mhm.
That's all we're really using it for.
Yeah, that's fair.
The two of you eventually do make your way back to that inn, because I don't believe a new place was decided yet.
Mhm.
So all of you reconvene roughly dinner time-ish back at the inn.
He definitely
Yes.
lets them know that he found Galen, so they don't have to worry about that portion.
That's good to know that he's alive still.
Yeah, he's just turned into a pack mule.
Oh, fun.
Were you followed?
Carry that much?
Not that we know of.
About anyone who looked like the individual we were seeing here, at least.
Yeah. Do we want to stay here for the night, or would we rather be safer and go to a different inn?
Drax just looks to Red. He is leaving this in her as her decision. He will follow her choice.
I will say, if we do stay here, I don't think we could pay for all the damages potential. The place might be a little, might drain our pockets a bit too much.
Expensive, yes.
Drax is staying quiet, even though there is a very small bit of sweat coming down the side of his face. When he considers that, he's like, "No, not our money, not our money."
Perhaps Cass could stay in a protected place and we could go elsewhere.
Maybe the temple?
Right.
Drac is going to, in the meantime, like all this is happening, he's going to take off his ring, look at it for a minute.
You know we could probably all stay at a temple, right?
How much do we trust?
Drac is just like, I'm pretty sure I'll burn if I stay there for too long. But he takes his ring off and he actually looks to Cass and like, I want you to take care of this. And he actually puts it on her. Technically, I guess it's the ring of protection, or I should say the ring of breeze.
As you, what finger you putting it on?
He's gonna put it on her
Middle finger.
Yeah, he was gonna be a middle finger. In all honesty,
That this, it's sized to your dragonborn finger now. As you begin to place it there, the ring magically adjusts in
Mhm.
size down to the tiniest little finger for this 10-year-old child.
And he's going to look at her and be like, that is a memento from Breeze himself. So at least you know that he and I are watching over you.
Thank you.
And he just smiles as he lets her have it. And he's going to lose that attunement. Actually, no, he's going to lose that entire thing completely because he's given its word.
Does it require attunement?
The ring itself does require attunement.
Hang on, I need to
The
see if
ring of
this child
protection.
is smart enough to do that.
And he's going to look at her and be like,
It's not about being smart, to be fair.
It-
You can have,
it's not.
you
Not
actually can
having
have,
a soul.
you can also have someone who's arcanely trained attune it for you.
he's just going to look at her and be like, you just have to focus on the ring and just think of the fact for like the next hour or so. Or just think of the fact that you have Breeze and me and everyone here watching over you. That's all.
She looks at it.
I think
She looks at you. She looks at it. And she walks to a chair. And she sits down. And she just stares at it.
She is learning how to attune to magic items, guys. You're welcome.
Zon.
That's gonna be her entire way of attuning. It's just the gang is watching over me. This
Yep.
is how they do it.
You make it the entire hour.
He's gonna watch her to do it. She didn't she?
Was that a nat one?
is there not
Oh,
one or
that
not?
was a
I
a
think
nat
that-
one.
What is it?
After about 10 minutes,
Yeah.
she just starts.
Oh,
Good girl.
I
It's okay.
freaking called it.
It's okay. Listen,
right.
technically,
no.
it does not say you have to fully focus on it. And if she's sleeping to it and still dreaming about it, she's still focused on it. And therefore, she's still attuned.
It wasn't
And
that
Doc-
one, but I was just trying to figure out how to portray it. I thought, staring intently, then just falling asleep was pretty on par. So
Yeah, no, it would be.
Can Doc just attune it to her?
yes,
Okay.
once she knocks out, you go over and you kind of, you're a dad. You
Mhm.
get her, set up right to where she's kind of, leaning on the table, and you just kind of put your hand over hers, and you just kind of sit there and you just lean back in your chair and just focus. Zon holds the plate because you're not really over the table. You're like sitting like side saddle to it. So
Yep.
she holds the plate for you while you eat with your other free hand.
Zon totally isn't like internally being like, oh my god, he's being such a dad right now. Oh my god, my heart. This man. It's fine. It's fine.
So, the temple. How much do we trust them?
So far, they've done right by us. So,
Well, one of them has.
and that's
We're not
the
sure
one,
on the other two.
That is the one that I would definitely say to go with. As once again, they've done so far. When we needed their help, they've been there. They don't ask us questions. They're willing to help us. So
Far are they willing to help us? I do not doubt that they will follow wherever we go.
Which is why we leave her there and we go somewhere else.
If we leave her there, she is unprotected. Somewhat. Unless they're
Right.
willing to fight for her. If they're
They
willing to fight
protect-
for her, we might as well stay there too. We're going to
They
have
were
to give
willing
them
to
a
fight
reason.
vampires for her.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's either that or she stays with us and still in guaranteed danger. She's not guaranteed danger there, but she's guaranteed to be in danger with us.
What do you think, Eva?
Most of it's going to depend on you. Do you feel comfortable staying in the temple, or would you rather stay somewhere else? I know I'm leaving her in good hands either way.
I'm comfortable staying in the temple, if that's what you think is best for Cass.
Oh, I know what's best for Cass. She'll stay there either way. The question is, do you feel comfortable being there?
I don't know, honestly. At this point, it's really just tallying lives.
Yep.
And they were willing to fight a vampire for Cass, so perhaps they'll be willing to fight others for me.
One way to find out. Might have to give them a little inside information, though.
Right. Well, how did they handle the vampire information?
Well, we did only tell the head priest, so
Also, dealing with undead threats is more in their wheelhouse than phoenixes and assassins.
Careful how loud you say that.
I'm just saying, you might have to give them a little bit more for it to be worth their while.
Right. Saving
Slight
the whole
eye
damn world
twitch.
isn't enough.
Slight eye twitch the entire time.
I'm pretty sure if I can convince them of who and what I am, that will be incentive enough in and of itself, and you can keep your pockets lined, Drakix. Calm down.
We'll find out.
All right, temple it is.
Won't know unless we ask, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we head there?
I think so.
Just picks up
Yep.
the child.
Right. Sleepy child, let's
Uh-huh.
go.
Yup. Piggyback her over there.
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to the same one that they got the cleric from to dispel and Greater Restore Doc?
Yes, because that's the same one that we've been to.
Just want to make sure.
Temple of the Navigator.
All right. Seeing as it is similarly late in the night, once you all get there, you head inside. Doors are open, and that, I mean, like, open. It's again, there's weather isn't the most common of concept here. It's always nice, basically. So
Mm-hmm.
doors are
How-
wide open, and
how easy is it for Doc Ig to get in?
it's very
This place-
easy.
This place was hallowed ground, and Eva didn't make a save the first time. That's what I was asking. And I'm undead now.
No issue. You walk right in.
Okay.
You do immediately spot the female ASMR that helped you last time.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of standing, again, still barefooted, kind of holding a book. She is up at the podium. She's not speaking aloud. There's no sermon going on, but she's just there simply studying, basically. But she does
Right.
notice you walk in, recognizes most of your faces, and
Mhm.
she picks something up, puts it in the book she was reading, closes it with a and she steps down. Well, I hope this evening is not as dire as last, if I sense correctly.
That
Do you have somewhere we can talk?
Privately.
Of course. And she sees Cassandra, and you see her moment. There's this moment where she just like gives a smile, but also like a my heart.
Oh,
My heart.
Yeah. She, all of you?
For the moment,
I really only need me for the moment. If you're looking short on space.
No, just. And she's like, for a moment, like of all the authority and power she commanded when she released Doc from the spell, she gets a little timid. She's like, just don't want to wake the child.
Right.
I can just keep her out here if you guys want to talk. I can just.
It's all right. Cass
Okay.
probably knows far more than any of us
Yeah.
can we give
realize.
her credit for? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, come. And she takes you off to the side, leads you through another set of large double doors. So basically, what looks like private, like almost like speaking, confession, or even worship rooms. Most of the doors are open, and if you look inside a few of them, they're large enough to house anywhere from 10 to 15 people. And she walks down a few ways to get like some space between the main door to this place and where you're going, and leads you to basically the last one. Again, the insight on this woman seems pretty high as she is taking you in pretty far to get away from any lingering traveling voices. She leads you inside, she closes the doors, and then she just turns with her back to the door, motions to the chairs. It's a very simple rounded table with almost like a bit of like, I'd say maybe a little more U-shaped, where you can see someone would stand with a book, and there's like a small podium there that rests at like a 45-degree angle. Well, it's at least nice to see that all of you, and she looks to Doc and just gives a smile, are with us. How are
Right.
you feeling?
Much better.
Good.
Just a simple moment of carelessness got me, that's all.
It does happen to the best of us.
So, this time is probably as dire as the last. How much do you know of how the islands were raised and what dwells below? How much do you truly know?
This look on her face, and many of you realize that what you're beginning to linger into is basically as close as you can get to forbidden knowledge.
Right.
And she just kind of looks confused. I don't believe I understand the question very well. The islands were raised by great mages of eras past.
Right. And what dwells below? The threat? Which is
Below
why we
is
were
a
raised?
great calamity has been kept sealed away. 3 great spirits sacrificed themselves to be the main points of focus for this barrier.
Right.
And she basically recites to you an advanced retelling, but a retelling of the common knowledge of what the world as a whole has come to know as the truth.
Okay. Refresh my memory. So it's like basically a fairy tale where the phoenix is mentioned, yes?
It's I wouldn't quite call it a fairy tale. It's known to be held as truth because there's evidence it has to have happened, because why else would we suddenly be so far above the ground? Why is life the way it is? You may not have long-lived individuals as elves around anymore, but you still have individuals who are only maybe 1 generation removed.
Okay.
Dwarves.
She looks to make sure that the door is closed.
Definitely closed.
Perhaps it's better I show you. And she will take a step. away from the rest of them and
anything flammable.
anything flammable, yeah. And fire begins to slowly curl up her body, and as it ascends to her shoulders, she will use a sorcery point and give herself wings. And her eyes are like a burnished coal. I find myself in need of protection, more or
Kind
less.
of looks you over for a moment.
Yes, what you're thinking is true.
And she kind of like takes a step back towards the door.
We're
Drac just like nods, like, yeah, I was there. I've been there too. Well, more like I wasn't standing over her as I got flambéed, but yeah, same thing.
Does this cleric look like they're trying to run?
Make an insight check.
No.
Doc would also be trying to insight her to make sure she's understanding and just coming to grasp of what she's
Yeah.
seeing, or if she's misinterpreting.
18.
18.
Yes.
That's an only 11 for Doc.
Doc, you can't get a read on her.
Mhm.
Vigazan,
Yes.
you get the sense that she is curiously confused, and you're kind of the first one to see she is reaching down to what is probably her holy relic, which at this time has been continually like spilling a little bit of incense,
Yeah.
and she pulls it up and sets it on the table, and
Yeah.
then you can see she takes her thumbs and pulls a bit of lace string out, and there's
Yeah.
a decently sized, like almost like a what you would see the doctor would use, like a vial,
Yeah.
stopper in it.
Yeah.
That is filled to the brim with some kind of powdered substance. And she, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to cast a spell.
There's the slight subtle shift of like hand to hand axe for Zahn, but that's it.
Doc will put his hand over
Passive
Zahn's
perception
hand.
will catch that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Doc, you're
It's
familiar with
alright.
the ingredients.
But I recognize the spells being cast.
Yes, absolutely.
I
Or
figured-
you at least
'cause
recognize the ingredients that are being gathered here.
I'm pretty sure we've been through a zone of truth before. With the
This is not Zone of Truth.
it's not zone of truth.
Legend lore.
She currently has in front of her a small block of well-refined, high-quality incense, and within the glass vial, it looks to be powdered ivory.
Yep. Legend lore.
Yeah, Doc
And
would still
we've-
put his hand over Zahn's hand, going for the axe, seeing that her reflexes, knowing her reflexes. that
She
put her at
will
ease.
slowly hold a hand up to Zahn to kind of try and forestall her. We've trusted her this far, and with Cass, and with other matters.
I'm aware of the spell she's about to use. It's fine.
Zahn
Right.
relaxes a little bit.
You see
Just a
me
little
use
bit.
it.
Still.
May I?
Of course.
By all means.
And she sets the ingredients out, and in a quick flash, they're all begin to burn. And her hand reaches towards you, Red, and she will place it on your shoulder.
She'll let the fires die down because if she touches her shoulder, she will burn.
Yeah. And you watch as her eyes, which are already kind of brimming with this divine energy, just given her blood,
Mhm.
her almost like a tiefling's eyes completely glaze over with a white light.
Mhm.
Her head knocks back a bit, and you watch as what was previously very, very hard to perceive, even with your passive perception, you notice right above her head, probably about 2 or 3 inches, a halo forms. As you feel upon you, Red, this incredible rush of divine power. And you feel yourself being read like a book. Not invasive, not perversion
Malicious.
Yeah.
or malicious, just getting a feel for what you are. Reading basically the lore of the Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And she just, her head is back, and you can see her, what little pupils there are, they're just flickering constantly, back and forth. After 10 minutes of this intensity, the halo dies, her hand retracts, her eyes return. She grabs her holy symbol and just takes a seat.
I know it's a lot to process.
Well,
That spell's also quite demanding on the individual, though.
Zahn hands over water skin.
Oh.
Not filled with water.
what's in it?
It's a very strong liquor.
Okay.
It's not her brother's stash,
Just
No.
takes a
but
chug,
it's
and then takes another one.
Yes.
Sets it down. That is
Mhm.
something, and I thought I knew a lot about our realm. But you...
Right.
And like she begins to smile and stands up and approaches you. You're real.
Welcome to the very few who know the truth.
Right.
But how?
I'm
And she's almost like she stops up from asking because she doesn't want to know the answer. How?
just know that the rest of it is intact. I am
Is
only
she-
a fraction.
Sets her hand on your bicep. Faith. Faith. Whoa. What do you need?
There
What
are
could you need?
need many,
A lot.
many things, but at present, the most dire threat stems from those who have hunted me since I was quite young.
I hate to think in such ways, but know thy enemy. You would be quite the component.
Right. And they know this as well. Quite a
How
hype.
long
How long have they been hunting me?
do you need to stay?
Oh, 4 days? I can't
Done.
promise. Huh? Before you
She
agree,
says
I
done.
must say you may find yourselves defending this place. They will not stop if they find me here.
Oh, and there's still vampires out and about, by the way, so that's
That's
technically
also-
still a problem.
Right.
She just gives a smile. The Wayfarer is with us. You will be safe here.
Thank you.
And give him our thanks, too.
He hears you. And she'll look to Dracix. Dracix you're familiar with. Maybe not always, but you definitely know many of sailors who have given prayers to the Wayfarer for safe travels.
Drac has a time or two, especially when he's been saved. You know, it ain't the first time that he feels like the Wayfarer's been covered his ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely goes, yes. He is listening.
On a separate note entirely to this business, do you take donations of weapons?
If you're speaking of the ones you handled recently, maybe I should cleanse them first.
Please
That
do.
would probably be best.
Dragon, please do.
They're
She, for the first time
unusable.
since this intensity, she does give like a light chuckle.
I can
How-
help with what I can, but I'm not an expert in it.
Yeah, let's not have you touch that axe again, please.
I will stay away from the axe.
Thank you.
And the
How do
others, just in
that-
case.
As well.
Where was that?
How do you know of that encounter?
She's
What
the one
character
who
growth?
cleansed. She's the one
She-
who cleansed Doc.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
She's the one who came
yeah.
with Drac and
Yeah. I was very distracted that evening. Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, we know. You were trying to memorize the rope structure to see like how to use it better next time. We know.
Oh, we've already used it. It's okay.
Right.
Do you have them with you?
Yes, and the gesture to the bag of holding. All of them in here.
Well, I can all of them. I can assist with 2 or 3. Well, 2 now.
Well, we have 3 weapons and 3 pieces of armor. All of them
We
quite
should-
unusable.
We should go to the army.
You can lead the way.
Some of you may find that term strange to be heard from such an individual, but I'll let your characters decipher that as you see fit.
Drac
What was
expects
the
it.
term?
Armory.
Armory.
Mm.
Doc's aware of how the church works. I think
Drac could be
You
more
would be,
surprised
yes.
if she did it. Drac could be more surprised if she didn't say there was an armory.
Yeah,
If she didn't, Drac would be like, "Nope, we're not staying here. Nope, we're leaving."
Doc's
First-
probably the most familiar.
Let's get you upstairs. There is a small bit of space in our far common area you could stay.
I
Not have
appreciate
anything
that.
private for you, but you will be safe.
All right.
At this
Yeah.
point, privacy would be a commodity that we don't have much of. So, we thank you, though.
Zahn sad internally that they can't have fun that night.
No one said we couldn't go to their work, so we could go to a different place. Just saying.
You're all attached
not
to
wrong.
Red.
Yeah, we're stuck.
Mhm. Splitting the party at this point's probably a real bad idea.
Yeah. According to Red.
As she makes
Yeah.
her comment about no public space, she does kind of follow it up. And be mindful if Brother Doran hands you any food. He's trying to be a chef.
Right.
It's edible.
Will it
Uh,
make us sick the next day?
He kind of like Drac like looks at this like, are we talking edible like grass is edible?
She just like smiles, turns her head up a bit, and just opens the door.
Understood. I'm not. When I see him, I'm not hungry. Does not matter the rumbling and the
She
tumbling.
leads you out of this kind of like
Yeah.
wing of the temple, across the main area, and almost as you get across it into the other double doors, there's like an immediate set of staircases, and she leads you up, and obviously on the second and third floor of the temple is where there's other housing, things like that. She leads you to basically like an open bay style with double beds all the way down. And then she looks to Doc. Well, I think you're coming with me.
Yes.
The rest of you can get settled. I promise to return him unharmed.
It's gonna claim a bed immediately.
Okay.
Zahn just puts her pack down and follows them.
Not gonna lie,
Wow.
Jack was thinking of following, but when he sees Zon take that small step, he's like, "Okay, never mind. I'm not worried about." It. He just stays with the
Yeah.
Well, Sam,
three.
once you got up there, she would have taken a moment to have some side conversation with someone up there that's of the robe, and then he would have just kind of nodded, given a wave and a smile, and then generally left you to your own devices.
Yeah, Jack definitely helps put Cass to bed. Moment that he sees Zon start leaving, he's like, "No, fine. I'm gonna let her deal with it," and he just tucks her into bed. And he doesn't take a bed. He just like sits next to against the wall. He tries to get as comfortable yet uncomfortable at the same time, so that way he can easily fall asleep, but in a moment's notice, just bolts upright.
Okay.
Because he is concerned for everybody, so he's just like, nope, I'm not going to sleep comfortably, because if I do, I'm not going to wake up at the right time.
Okay. Red, Eva. Red, you got a bunk immediately. Eva, I imagine
Yep.
you probably stay. Let the child be on the top bunk, and you take the bottom bunk.
Yeah,
Probably. Yep.
she's going to want the top bunk. We have to let this happen.
Yeah.
Doc and Levikazon, you are led downstairs to the main floor and then immediately into the subfloor.
Mhm.
Which is strange. Most buildings don't have a full basement like this.
Yeah.
This place does.
Weird.
Beneath it, the tone is completely different, almost as if not built by the same people.
Is this familiar?
It is very familiar. Down there is a familiar stonework and masonry you have seen on another island when you're in halls and tunnels beneath it.
Hmm.
We'll end the session there.
I expected
Oh
that.
no.
Oh,
Oh no.
get ready for a fight next session. All right.
Oh no.
Oh no. Flashbacks.
Look, it only takes one divine sense for Dot to get screwed over here.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is very true.
Oh boy.
Well, a little bit late, but thank you all so much for hanging out. We really appreciate it. We hope you had fun. We hope we could be a nice distraction to your day, whether it was good, bad, great. We just want to be here to have fun, tell incredible stories, laugh, and eat snacks. Because that's kind of the point of all this. Is just laugh, eat snacks, and roll dice. And maybe tell a good story if I know what I'm doing. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Most of the
It's
time
true.
you do.
Most
Yep.
of the time,
Mhm.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
anyway,
shush.
again, thank you for being here. We love you very much. We hope you have an incredible night, an incredible week. And if you're going to play some D&D, do yourself a favor and never forget your snacks. Good night, everybody.